And we are live finally.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everyone. Well, not quite. That's a week away. But hey, it's the special Christmas podcast for 2018, the anime edition on Gunpla Network. Today, obviously, I'm Mark, and I'm the usual host of the podcast. I'm joined by Danik,
Hello, everyone.
who's very, very kindly given up a night of good sleep after his final exam at college. So it's very early in Canada, and we have a very special guest with us today, Mr. Krow. Dennis.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Introduce yourself, Dennis. Tell us about your channel.
Okay. Well, my name is Krow. I run a YouTube channel that is primarily about Gundam reviews. Might do spontaneous things here and there that kind of delves a little bit outside of just normal Gunpla releases, such as the Mazinger series. But all in all, I just like to post some reviews, like to give my opinions on different kits that come out. I post regularly, and I do have different social media platforms, all pretty much covering the same name, either Krow or the Krow. So just search me, message me if you have any questions, and definitely like to converse with everyone.
All right, thanks for that, man. Yeah, everyone, remember to go and check out his channel.
Great
it's really
content.
good. Yeah, and he throws up some occasional funny videos that are, just spot on, make you laugh.
The Gunpla
I
Hunter.
appreciate that.
The Gunpla Hunter. If you haven't seen his new series, The Gunpla Hunter, check that out. This is like an awesome way to do unboxing. That guy's a mad genius. So check that out, guys.
I appreciate it.
All right. Well, what we're here for. So everyone in the chat, feel free to throw up questions, comments, opinions, whatever. I've just got a list. Danik could probably throw up on the screen for us. It's the, I guess, Gundam watching order by universe or century, I guess you'd say. And we were just going to quickly chat about each one. And it's not something we usually do, but for me, I build the kits, but I love the anime as well and some of the mangas, so they go hand in hand for me. Krow, you same?
Yeah, I haven't read as much of the manga. I've read a lot of like the Amazing series, the Gunpla Fighters Amazing, but didn't really delve too much into like the. Well, I know they have like the Penelope one, all that kind of Universal Century side stories. I haven't touched any of that.
Oh, awesome. I know Danik loves reading. He's got the whole Origin set.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that this is how I firstly discovered Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin. I never watched the anime. I watched the movies. Is it movies? Did they make movies out of them? Yeah, but this is how I discovered it right here. Yeah, there it is. Awesome manga if you can read that, if you can find it. They are a bit expensive. I mean, it was, how much are they? It's 30 US. So $30 US. So a bit expensive, but they are gorgeous. The art in it, I don't know if there you go. You got Shaw right there. That's the spirit. That's what we like about it. They are super gorgeous, and they are drawn by the original artist that did the TV show back in the day. So, like, there it is. Super gorgeous book. So if you can grab one of these, it's a 12-book collection. So it's around like, to have the whole collection, it's like 360 US. But
wow.
It's pretty worth it.
Wow. Okay. Well, on that, let's go to the beginning. So look, I'm a huge Universal Century buff. I'm not quite an elitist, but I do love the Universal Century the best. So let's start there. Mobile Suit Gundam, The Origin. Obviously, we only just got that series in the last year, but it's technically the start. So we'll start there. Release date 2015, it says. But I think it's stretched out for a period. It was going on for over a year. And that was UC dates 0068 to 0077.
There it is.
It was glorious. I was like a bit skeptical in the first episode into the second one. And then from there, number 3, it just picked up all the way to number 6.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys?
Yeah. I've been all about the origin series since the manga. I haven't finished past the first volume, but I definitely need to get back into it. The OVAs though are just fantastic, and I really love how they focus a lot more on Char and just kind of like his origins. If it would have been Amuro, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't have been as interesting because as much as I like Amuro, to start it as pretty much at the beginning of the original Mobile Suit Gundam series, I think that would have kind of lost me. But I'm really happy that like with the origin series itself, they just really focus on most of the Zeon.
Yeah, I think that was probably the best part for me too, because while you don't get everything in the original 0079 Gundam, you get enough of it. He's like living at home alone. His dad's a mechanical engineer, Federation. So you get all that sort of story. This was just a really good telling, obviously, because you always had that. Well, how did Char get to be, this captain in the Zeon Force, Special Forces, and this awesome pilot? So, what do you think, Dan?
I'm a big fan of it, actually. Big fan of Char as Nabel right here. So for me, that was like a dream come true, and it's mostly an adaptation of the manga that I just showed a couple of minutes ago. So super good show. If you haven't watched it, I think it's all on YouTube, right?
Yeah, actually, they did have it, I think. Gundam.info YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly. It's all on YouTube. So if you haven't watched it, it's really worth the watch. It's super well animated. And
definitely some of the best animation outside of Thunderbolt.
It's crazy what they are doing, eh? Like doing all these free shows, putting them on YouTube. Like you watch Origin, you watch Thunderbolt, and they are so well animated, and they're just free to watch. It's really smart from Sunrise.
That's probably why the Blu-rays are so expensive.
Yeah, probably, but I mean. And it's really worth it to watch it.
But a good one, definitely. Like I said, there's just so much depth of the story, great animation, battle scenes. Obviously, battles take place further on in the series, but just really good. And that'll bring us into actually. I'm not sure about this one. In my research of looking up all the timelines, I've for some reason put Mobile Suit Gundam MS Igloo next, which is a side story, not a main. It was a small OVA. I think it was 9 episodes split into 3 arcs.
Yeah, I never had the chance to watch that one though, so I'm not well versed into the Igloo universe.
So Igloo is once again from the Zeon side. Hence you've got the Zeon, MS Igloo. There's 3 different story arcs. One takes place in space, and that's the reason you've got the Zuda on the far right there. That's where you see the Zuda, the prototype mobile suit with an experimental engine that wasn't a Minovsky particle generator. It was another one. So there's also, it takes place on Earth, Zaku's versus tanks and stuff. The Federation wasn't quite there with their mobile suits yet. And I can't remember where the other arc takes place. It's actually inside battleships. It's not anything to do with mobile suits. So it's a good watch if you can find it. I have found it streaming in a few places on the internet. You can buy the DVDs. They are out, but probably outside Japan might be a little hard to get. So you might have to go through a third-party seller. But yeah, it's actually it's an interesting watch. If you've watched everything else Universal Century and you like it, I highly recommend.
So in the Universal Century timeline, it's after Char. After Origin, sorry.
Yeah, so from what I could see in the date, it was UC 0079, but it was at the start of 79, maybe just at the end of 78. So pretty much as the 1 Year War was kicking off or heating up, I guess you would say, which then leads us into the original Mobile Suit Gundam 0079 release date of 1979 and UC date 0079, the 1 Year War. What can we say? That was the first Gundam series I ever watched.
Yeah. Just to backtrack a little bit back to the MS Igloo.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say that for me, at least, the Zuda is the best looking mobile suit of all Zeon. I know people probably are not going to agree. They're going to say Sazabi or, whatever other Zaku 2. But I don't know. The Zuda is so unique, and I don't know, the armaments that it has, that long range rifle is just super cool. The way the thrusters are kind of set with the 4 kind of around the big center one. I don't know. And seeing in action, it's super fast. There's only 3 of them, huh?
Yeah. There was a prototypes. Yeah, so they were testing.
Did you say the Zulu?
Yeah, the Zuda.
Yeah.
The Zuda. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, yeah. Miguel painted a really nice one.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
trying.
it's an interesting one because it was a prototype. They were in testing against I think the Zaku one or the not the Goof, the what was Ramba Rolls before
Oh yeah, the
Zaku
Goof.
one. No. His first one, the Bugu, I think.
Oh yeah,
yeah, Bugu, I think it was.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that was, I think they were the competing prototypes because you had Zionic and then you had another company manufacturing as well in space for
standing. God, that pose is ugly. But if you get some nice aerial poses, like it's so sick.
Yeah. No, it's a cool one. It's got a kind of like a knight feel to it, like a knight in armor.
Yeah. But yeah, going back on track with the 0079, that's the first series that I actually decided to buy on Blu-ray because I started buying all the series on Blu-ray back in like 2015, and I rewatched it about 2 different times, and it doesn't seem like it deteriorates. Like it's always that amazing space drama that you just really love. Obviously, it has its flaws at certain points in the series, and they kind of do a lot of jump cuts, and they don't really tell you like, hey, this is how much time has elapsed since the last time you've seen these guys, and you go to a whole bunch of different locations with new battles and missions that start occurring. But other than that, I think the animation still holds up very well.
It's dated, like you can see it. It's from the start for what is it, the 40th anniversary yet or something? Or
I'm talking about like if you've seen it like on television, like back maybe in the early 2000s or mid 2000s for the first time, and then watching it on Blu-ray, like to me it holds up super well. Like very very crisp animation, and it's still a 1970s early 80s animation, but I think just for that time, it still is much better than what we got from most animes.
And funny enough, I think when it was first released in Japan, it was canceled, right?
Yes.
They canceled it, and after that, they released the toy, and the toy sold so well that they put it back on here.
In the chat, EKCC says, "Hey guys, do you think if the Gundams or the suits were actually real, will come to life, who do you think would be the best pilot among you?" Look, I've never said I would be a Gundam pilot. I'm a GM fan. I would be a GM person, probably a GM custom or something like that, but still a GM. I'd be cannon fodder.
I mean, I'm a quick learner, but I've never been in any kind of machine like that. But I drove trams and I drove Humvees and been in tanks. But yeah, so that's the extent.
I don't want to brag, but I'm gonna brag. But when I was in Japan, I spent my night at Akihabara playing at the Gundam pod. So I got training, guys. We're good.
Oh, you played the pods?
Yeah, like for countless hour. I still got my card with my save game on it. But
okay, Bandai Namco need to get those outside of Japan.
Oh man, this is so good. Like this is so fun to play. Like I don't know if the people in the chat know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it might be. You might have to show them a picture.
Yeah. This is.
Those things are so much fun. Like when you get a full team going.
Exactly. Yeah. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. So you just get into these pods, and that's how you look inside. Like you having like
the control sticks, the 3 screens.
Yeah, you got the pedals, you got the both stick, you got all the stuff displaying on the screen, and you're having Gundam battle. That one is hitting me hard.
No.
But yeah, this is super fun, super amusing. And what's nice about that, it's when you go to Akihabara, you can buy like a card, and you can keep all your progress
on there.
Yeah, so if you have like I did like over like 80 hours of gameplay, you keep all that progress and you just continue to play.
Yeah. But they actually have them like all over Japan. It's not exclusively in Tokyo. Like surprisingly, we have one over here in Iwakuni, and I'm like, wow, yeah. Like we're a very small town.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Nice. All right, well, back onto it. So I love 0079. That is probably, I saw it first, one of my favorites. I've been an anime fan since I was 6 years old, and that was shockingly 30 years ago, guys. I'm old, so yeah. I started with Robotech's. I know, boo, don't hate on me. That was like VHS beta cord tapes and stuff here in Australia. Eventually, I realized it was Macross, and then became a fan. And then Gundam I only discovered, actually, shockingly, about 6 years ago.
Okay, so you're a Gundam baby.
But I have watched almost every series and repeated many of them and build them now, so I'm well into it.
Okay. That's it. When was your first time, Dennis?
My first time with Gundam?
Yeah.
It was the obvious Gundam Wing when I was like 11 years old. But I was heavy into Transformers.
Yeah.
So like I grew up on the G1 Transformers, and then I started getting to Beast Wars, and
yes.
Then that's
Beast Wars was cool.
Oh yeah, I love Beast Wars.
Shit.
It's like still to this day I have my DVDs, and I'll pop in maybe the first little season of Beast Wars. But
small interesting fact: Beast Wars made by Mainframe Studio. That was a Canadian studio. Just dropping.
Oh really?
Yeah. They did.
They did. What was that other one? It started with Reboot.
Oh, Reboot rocked.
Yeah, that was my stuff. And they made another one. That was really popular.
There's a new Reboot now, people. It's on Netflix. It's not as good.
No, the new Reboot, don't watch that. Don't do that to yourself. They made a third one, super popular. Well, I can find it too, but
find it. We'll discuss anyway. So we've got next up in the timeline, we're going to move on to, actually, this is another one of my favorites. So the thing I love, and everyone goes, boo, no more Universal Century when, they bring out another series or another kit and they say, why is it always UC? Well, I'm sorry, people. UC is probably, like I said, the most in-depth, the biggest, richest storyline tapestry to go from. And 0080, War in the Pocket, which was released in 1989 and still had a UC date of 0079. So, like it said, War in the Pocket, it was actually in a colony, so in a little pocket of space, much like Thunderbolt, a separate section of space. Side stories. That was the best thing about Universal Century. Sometimes the side stories are much, much better than, a whole series of 50 episodes.
Yeah.
Double Zeta Gundam, I'm looking at you. So that's it. It's not always quantity, it's the quality, and UC definitely brings that. So War in the Pocket, has everyone seen that?
Yes.
Awesome. That is definitely a kit there. The NT, the Alex, it definitely needs a 2.0 in the MGs from what I've been told.
I would be happy with a high grade Revive. I just need something.
Yeah.
They got that new robot Damashi though, with all those nice little accessories and effect parts.
Yeah, definitely. So if you haven't seen it before, 0080 War in the Pocket takes place UC 0079, I believe, towards the tail end of the 1 Year War. It's actually a storyline, Zeon attacking or infiltrating a colony, and that's because they missed their opportunity to destroy a new prototype Gundam based on the RX-78. It's the NT1 Alex, which is actually a enhanced version of the Gundam designed, well, it's actually meant to be given to Amuro Ray, but it doesn't quite make it. So, yeah. And that's what they're fighting about when they get to this colony. But more than actually just being about mobile suit battles, what is it? I think it's 6 OVAs. Yeah, that's the Alex there. And it actually has a bulkier form with the armor that can pop off. What is it? Impact armor or something?
I don't remember the name.
Yeah. Basically, if it takes a heavy round, the armor pops off to protect the suit below. Yeah, and it's all about the people. So you actually have kids, you have young people involved in the war, and what can happen to them during the course of, and that's what I really like about Gundam. It's not just about the battles. Tomino had like a lot of this is what it would actually be like in there. It's more realistic. It's about the people, and that's what this OVA is about. It's about the people involved in the war and how they can be casualties of it. What do you reckon? You guys got anything for it?
I would say Yeah, pretty much covered everything. The storyline was really good. I like the characters. They were a little more fleshed out than what I was kind of used to when watching a lot of those old series. It also had like one of the probably the coolest battles during that early time frame with the camphor. Like that was a pretty awesome battle. That was the first time seeing like the little mind whip. I'm like, what is that? That's crazy. Like sticks onto the mobile suit.
That was. So I was going to say that's apart from the actual cool storyline stuff and the real reality of war. It's the designs. So you got some Zaku FZs, I think, are in there. They're not the F2s, they're the FZs. You've got the Camphor, MS-18E, I think it is. And you've got which was a hit and run and assault mobile suit for Xeon. And that was, that one there. It's ultra cool. I love it. You had the GM Sniper 2. You had the Alex. You saw I think it was the Spartan. No, not the Spartan. Was it the Spartan? The assault carrier?
Oh, I can't remember.
No, Spartan's in Thunderbolt, I think, because the Albion's 0083. It's basically the enhanced white base. So there was so many cool mechanical designs in there as well. It was such a short series with so much oomph behind it, I guess. So that was really cool. What else? Oh, yes. Then we move on to next in the timeline. Also, UC date 0079, Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt.
That's my
released 2015, 2016.
Smooth jazz.
Yeah, can you hear jazz? I've got the kit. I've built one of the two Gundams. I've got the other one up on my shelf. I haven't built the full armor yet. I've built the Atlas. I love that one.
I'm still holding out to get it because I don't know. I have a feeling that maybe they're gonna do a master grade, but I'm just hoping.
you can hope all you want. I don't know about that one. Interesting design though. Yeah, so that's the Atlas there.
Yeah, exactly.
But, okay, Dennis, give us a quick rundown on the anime, so I don't have to say them all.
So I know that was it a colony or it was some kind of like, I know it was space debris that had an electromagnetic field, and it was basically like a side group of the Earth's Federation forces versus the Xeon forces, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if was it a colony that exploded or was it just like some kind of debris? Like,
no, it's heavily damaged. What was it? Side 4 more? It was called. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So not just a colony, but a group of colonies, which I think is what they call a side, isn't it? It's a group of colonies.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, there you go. Good lesson, people. So a group of colonies in Gundam is called a side. There's a collective of colonies. But yeah, it was destroyed. These people formed their own section of the EFSF, the War Brotherhood.
Yeah, they're more like they're probably like just rogue agents, kind of like they didn't have close ties to the Earth Federation, if I'm not mistaken. Like they weren't.
They paid for everything. It was like, we need mobile suits, send them.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the Earth Federation by that point in the war it was waging on, and they were probably didn't have enough manpower themselves. So it's great if people want to jump in and help, particularly people from space who are fighting against Xeon, I would say.
Yeah. But it was beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Ever since episode 1, I haven't read the manga, but for all the little mini OVAs, just completely beautiful animation. The battles were fantastic. Kind of made you question who really were the good guys and who were the bad guys, just because it seemed like the people that you thought might have been the good guys of Earth Federation, they just had like I don't know, some kind of blood, like a bloodlust. Like they always just wanted to go out there and just defeat the enemy at all costs. And I don't know, like I couldn't root for them as much as I could for like the Xeon guys. But yeah, I thought.
So yeah, that was Living Dead division. They were I guess all the rejects, the injured soldiers. They were all put into one corps, and they were given mechanical limbs to fight with, and and that was I get what you're saying, because I actually felt like that in Origin. I was like, I love Earth Federation Special Space Forces. I see them as the good guys, but then when you get to a series like Origin and Thunderbolt, you're like, maybe they're not the good guys.
Yeah.
But that's what's nice about Thunderbolt. Actually, you don't have good guys; they're all a-hole. Like everybody is a jackass with like some mommy issue, and but that's what makes it so nice, because you don't have good guys. You have only like the bad stuff about war. Like war is dirty. It's not clean, you know. So that's an interesting take on the Gundam universe, and the animation is super sharp, super crisp. The
Oh,
suit
it is some of the best.
the suit look fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Like all of the suit, even the kids, they look great. The soundtrack,
Mhm.
the soundtrack. I mean, do you like jazz? Well, you're gonna like jazz. It's not a choice. And what else? And it's free on YouTube, guys. I know there are like
Yeah.
shows. And I
Any
think
series since like 2015, 2014 or something has been going
Yeah.
up on Gundam.info, and then they've actually been uploading like older ones as well with an English sub or dub.
Mhm.
and I think it's one of the best anime to make someone fall in love with Gundam. I mean, this is the best entry point, one of the best entry points to show Gundam to someone. You
So
know,
Thunderbolt isn't necessarily like canon. It doesn't necessarily line up with the timeline because
well, it's in the timeline. Like, I mean, it's in the UC timeline, right? It's official.
it is. But see, then
But
some of it like
but
they
it's
go down
not
and
like
take place on.
Armor story. You know, it's like it's a side story. But
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think from discussions I've seen online, I don't think it actually lines up fully with, because obviously, like, there's never a mention.
I mean, the anime has been out for 40 years. You can expect some stuff that doesn't align. You know.
Yeah.
At one point, it's not like it's not like Nintendo and The Legend of Zelda. You know, like.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
what I'm
It's
saying,
definitely great.
if you want to show what Gundam is about to someone, you show them Gundam Thunderbolt. I mean, it's like you're gonna say, well, show them Origin or show them Gundam 0079. Yeah, but Thunderbolt is pretty new. It's crisp. Like make them come into the franchise slowly. Like show them the new stuff, show them the crisp stuff, and when you get stuck in the lore, you're gonna want to explore it.
Yep.
So that's why I'm like Thunderbolt. Great, a great show to start.
I might be able to challenge you on that one because of the next series we'll talk about. Mobile Suit Gundam 0083 Stardust Memory,
Yes.
release date of 1991, UC date 0083. Now, this is quite possibly my favorite Gundam series ever. That's got a great soundtrack. It's like Top Gun, 80s music. It's, mobile suit designs are great. The GPO one is my favorite design.
But the real question is,
Storyline?
can you be my wing? Can you be my wingman?
Always. Anytime for you.
Bullshit, you can be mine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So there you go. The antagonists and protagonists. You've got Anaval Gato, Zeon, and Ko Uraki from the EF. Well, he's Earth Federation forces, but they transfer to space. So, and you got the GPO one and the GPO 2 is like one of the first series I ever saw where Gundams were fighting each other.
Yeah.
Before I saw, 00. Yeah, so I can't praise that series enough. It's got a good storyline. It's English dub. And that's English dub that's not terrible. Yeah, great soundtrack.
Weren't they in Australia?
Yeah. Let's just talk about Universal Century in Australia. Like whoever wrote that hated Sydney. We had like a colony operation British dropped on us. So pretty much I would still be in the impact zone where I live, and I'm like an hour from the city. So yeah. No, that's it. So it's in Australia. It's the, what is it, Danik? If you're Googling around, it's the base, Torrington base.
Yeah, man, I trust you.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's Torrington base. Yeah, is the one that they were testing these mobile suits at, and Xeon hijacked the GPO2 with the nuclear warhead. Yeah. So no more wine, thanks, man. I topped my glass up earlier when Dennis was talking.
Man, it's 4 a.m. I'm gonna drink more wine. Okay.
It's 8:30 p.m. and I've got 2 days of work left. So, rock on. Yeah. So I would introduce anyone to Stardust Memory. It is just an insanely good series. Yep. If you have not seen Stardust Memory, go and find it. Find the soundtrack and build to it. It's just great.
And,
yeah,
that series. I thought it was super beautiful before. Like I started watching like the series on DVD. So I actually still have my collection, my VHS collection, and it's just super beautiful to watch. It's kind of weird just to see like I never thought someone could just walks in and just steal a Gundam in like episode 1. I'm like, what? Like that? Is that really? Is that how easy it is in the series, just to go on a military installation as a thief and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna steal this Gundam. No one's gonna stop me.
It belonged to me, you know.
And also keep it armed with a warhead, a nuclear warhead.
Yeah, the nuclear warhead just been loaded. Let's leave it parked.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's different. But yeah, beautiful animation. Even just episode 1 will always stick to me with that chase where they're in gravity, so they're not just continuously flying; they're hopping, like just short hopping the entire time to go recover.
Yeah, well, except for the DOMs because they were designed with that.
Oh, hover, yeah.
Yeah, they were like a tank mobile suit, I guess. So yeah, yeah. Danik, 0083, you love it, you hate it,
I liked it. I watched it later on live because in Canada we didn't have this show before like 2005, 2006, around that time, and even maybe later. But I'm a big fan of the GPO one, so and I'm a bit biased on that. And I just liked it. It's greedy. That's what I like about it. It's good show.
Awesome. Well, that will lead us into UC 0087.
Yes.
There's a bit of a gap.
That's Zeta, right?
Zeta Gundam, released in 1985. This series had some of the best MS designs.
Yes.
It was very risky designs at that. Because it strayed completely far from what we've already seen.
You mean putting Shah in a pair of sunglasses? Or?
That, yeah.
Well, that's not Shah, that's Quattro, guys. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, like seeing like I mean, we've seen giant mobile suits in the past, in the earlier series, but to see things like Psycho Gundam that transform, to see the Zeta transform, and a bunch of other like grunt suits that also transformed. What was the one that's like a saucer?
The Gabfly?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like that thing it still looks ugly to me, but it's very risky design, and I know people enjoy it.
Yeah, and I say, and I'm really glad because we got a revive this year of one of my favorite grunts from Zeta, which was the Gabaldi Beta. Yeah, so I still haven't built that. I just got it. But yeah, like that was a cool suit to see get a revive of, and we had the Revive Zeta, and now there's another version of the Revive Zeta coming, which requires less stickers for the backpack wings. It was just so many good designs. The Hyakushiki. There's a new MG coming, isn't there, Dan?
The Mark II.
Yeah, well, sorry, we can't gloss over the Mark II. That was, it's a bit of a, it's not really like the truest Gundam in sense because it wasn't the most powerful, best armored, But
the
it was
design was so interesting. Like when you went from the original RX-78 and with the Mark II.
Yeah. Yep. So it was a great series. I love the storyline. You got to see Bright Noah again. They brought back some older cast members. Yeah.
But it was kind of funny. Like Camille was so much like Amuro. Like parents was engineers and kind of came from tragedy, and I was like, okay, it was almost like a retelling in the beginning, but then Camille kind of started doing his own storyline.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, I'm not Amuro, but and then Bright's sitting there going, "Where's that voice coming from? It feels like Amuro." I was like, "It's not Amuro." All right. Yeah. So that was just Zeta's a great series.
I'm just a big fan of Zeta. Just like I love Zeta. I love all the suit. I love the story. I love the ending is so dark. You know why the Zeta is a transformer, a kind of a transformer Gundam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like that was because Transformer came out like a year before, and they saw like the big trend with Transformers. So they're like, yeah, we need a Gundam that transform now. The Yakushiki, one of the best looking suit ever made.
Oh, I love it. It's very minimalist, and that's what I like about like mobile suits. I've actually made like a custom suit Ben as a base suit. I used a GM and armored it up and stuff, and it was still very minimalist. So yeah.
Isn't it the base for like the Delta Chi?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Delta Plus.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I loved about it so much. I'm like this kind of just continues the evolution of the UC kind of storylines. Like, okay, like we didn't just make this, mobile suit just to make it. Let's improve on it.
Exactly, yeah. And the behind the scenes stuff also when they produce Zeta Gundam, like the state of mind of what's his name again? The Gundam creator. Help me here.
Tamino.
Yeah, thank you. He was like super depressed when he created Zeta Gundam, so that's why the story is so dark, and it's just great. It's just a great follow up to the original Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and a Quattro that is not char look fantastic. Also, the re-release, they made 3 movies to retell the whole story.
Yeah.
And they redraw some scene and do some reanimate some. They redo some of the animation.
Mm-hmm.
It looked fantastic.
Yeah, they extended a lot of scenes.
Yeah.
You can find it on YouTube as well, but it looks beautiful. Like the scenes that they enhanced and just kind of made from scratch.
Yeah, that scene with
gorgeous.
Star and Amuro meeting once again.
Mm-hmm.
With the Yakuchiki and Amuro on the and the MK2N, the Mark 2N, is it?
Yeah, he took it out. He took it out because Camille was fudging about. So.
That scene is like one of the best scenes in the whole Gunpla franchise. So yeah,
definitely. Well, I'm going to bring us into the next one. Unfortunately, I cannot claim to have seen all of this series because I just got so bored with it halfway through. Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta. Yeah, release date 1986, UC date 0088.
Yeah, I can't. I watched it.
We didn't even we glossed over it. We didn't even talk. Obviously, the big bad guys of Zeta, and then they continue into Double Zeta, the Titans. So.
Oh yeah. The remnants of Zeon.
Oh yeah, they were there too. Yeah. No, sorry, we should have said people watching the Titans, if you have never heard of them, obviously were the big bad guys, an expansion of the Earth Federation forces. Created at the end, you get the scenes from 0083. They pull a lot of resources and people into this new force, basically just to hunt down Zeon remnants after the Stardust Memory incident. And then they continue to be the bad guys the whole way through, butting up against people in Zeta, heading into Double Zeta. So, also, Danik posted his picture today. The Hazel custom that he's building is a Titans test type mobile suit.
Yeah, but that's an Advance of Zeta, though.
Yes, unfortunately.
I couldn't tell you anything about Advance of Zeta. I don't know anything.
No,
man, I can't find the books anywhere in English like to read. I'd like to read the series. I actually want it to be an anime. I think it'd be great. So
I just think that Bandai Sunrise doesn't have the right. I think they belong to.
But it seems weird because we've gotten a lot of mobile suits from that line.
Yeah, so I saw something someone said. Basically, it's not that they don't have the right. I think they have the right to the mecha because anything that's a Gundam basically belongs to Bandai, even if they give permission for someone else. Like, what's the magazine that wrote it? Advance of Zeta is part of the publications. They don't have the right to the story and the people.
Well, it's like Sunrise. Like Sunrise owned Gundam Age, and like for the longest time, I know Bandai couldn't do a lot of stuff with Gundam Age, as far as like what should we call it? It was certain kind of publications they couldn't do because you had to get the rights from Sunrise. That's why there was a lot of issues with the Bill Fighters.
Okay. Well, yeah, this is basically, from what I understand of it, it's not that Bandai can't produce the mobile suits, like. Maybe they just didn't want to, but obviously we've gotten a lot the last year. And they can make the mobile suits, but that's why you'll get a generic pilot with the suits that you get if you get an MG or if they ever do an RG, because they don't have the rights to the likenesses of the people and the actual story, which there you go, Dengeki Hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
So
was published by Dengeki Hobby. It's a novel, and they don't talk about the right in there, but
no. So I think I could be very wrong. Feel free anyone to point that out in the chat, but that's what I understand about it now. They have basically Bandai can do anything they want because the Gundams, the mechanical designs belong to them. But yeah, the story and the faces, the people, they can't do anything with because that's Dengeki Hobby. So Yeah, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll get one day because that would just be like my dream for the UC project. So
Yep.
next up, after the failure that was Double Zeta, it tried to be too comical. Like some good designs.
Well, Tomino explained that after Zeta, he wanted to do something uplifting because he was in such a dark place after Zeta that he just wanted, to do something more happy, more like whatever. And yeah, the maturity that we gain with Zeta just disappear with Double Zeta, and the suit look ugly.
I have seen more maturity in my son's like TV shows of Fireman Sam and Postman Pat than I did in Double Zeta.
That's mean, man. That's mean.
Come on,
stop being a ass. But yeah, that's the Double Zeta right here, the newly released Verka from 2017.
I actually like it. It's bulky, but I like it.
Have you built it?
No, I've never, like, to be honest with you, and this is going to be a shock horror to some people, I actually don't build MG scale kits. I'm only like a 1/144. Yeah.
He's that kind of person, Dennis. We don't have to talk to him,
Like I have the old MG Double Zeta and I have the Faz, which are fairly okay kits for when they came out, but I really want the Verka, but I can't justify the purchase right now.
Yeah.
Well, I heard it's a fantastic kit, and everybody that did a review on it said, it's such a great Transformer kit, and it's better than it has any right to be. But I just don't like it, guys. I can't. It look like a toy. Like it's so bulky, it's so out there. Like with the flap right here, and it's the color pattern.
It borders on Super Robot.
Yeah, I think that's when they thought, when they were making the designs, like, hey, how can we have something that sells really well for kids? Bright colors, craziness. I think that's their whole point of the design was.
Yeah, I get that. It's just not for me. It's too out there.
Well, we'll leave that one there. But I want to move into what I think all three will agree was a fantastic movie. 1988 saw the release of Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack.
New Gundam, Gundam.
UC, date 0093. So after a couple of years break there, we see Quattro Vegeta, Char is back. And this time he's leading Neo Zeon.
The man is back, baby.
Yeah,
so Danik with the picture.
Yeah, I'm on it. There we go.
Yeah. So there you go. Just a good old picture there. So we had Amuro back. And he's back with the EFSF after Zeta Gundam, and he was in Karaba, I think the Earth Forces there. And then Char back is that's old Char. That's not new Char. He wasn't wearing a helmet there. Yeah. So I mean, it was good because we saw like
it was fantastic. It was not good. It was fantastic, man.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great. I love this movie. I watched it 3 times between.
Only 3?
No. This was on. I put it on my phone and I took it with me to the States. So I watched it on the flight from Australia to San Francisco. I watched it in San Fran, and then I watched it again on the way back. So yeah, 3 times in like 2 weeks or something.
What about you, Dennis? Are you part of the new nation?
Yeah, I've watched it twice. Once, I think I was about 22. And then I watched it again, I think about 4 years ago, and yeah, I loved it. I love the relationship that both Amuro and Char have, because like it's like they surpass like best friends. Like it's such an awesome relationship that they have, and you can definitely tell they are torn that they have to go ahead and fight each other, and they really don't. But I mean, they have their own personal motivators that
It's like Professor X and Magneto.
Yeah, exactly. Like they fucking love each other. Sorry for cursing, but they definitely love each other. But they have to. One has to protect the other one. He's trying to. Shaw was trying to like.
Just have to do a genocide.
He was but he was trying to like. Because he was not a space noid. But I know he felt like isolated, right? He felt kind of excluded. From Earth.
With all of his background story, I mean, the way he was treated when he was young, and the way he grew up, he stole like Char identity because his real name is not Char, by the way.
Yeah,
and like the way he grew up, and just like when he went to the academy and become like a pilot for Xeon, and the rebellion they did against the Xeon back
Mhm.
in the day. Man, Char is such a wonderful character.
Yep.
Like when you look at his evolution until Char counterattacks, such a great character. And I don't mean like in terms of anime or Japanese history. I mean in general, a great character. And
Well, definitely a lot of characters because you had supporting cast in there. Bright Noah was back for Londo Bell, the special task force after Titans that were tasked with hunting down Xeon remnants. And then, yeah, like you got to see them grow because original, you get to see them, you know, Amuro's growing into the soldier's role. Shah was already there. And then, you know, by the time they get to Zeta, they've kind of joined forces a bit. And then you go a few years later, and now you come to Shah's counterattack. They're both on opposite sides again. They have their own reasons. And I love that scene where you kind of get Shah taunting Amuro, like, come and find me. I'm doing something wicked. You know?
And Amuro doing these goody goods. Oh, yeah, I'm coming, guys. I'm going to save the world.
You love the new Gundam, I know.
Freaking love the new Gundam. It's not love, it's passion at that point. It's a fantastic design. Look at that thing. Like I got when I went to Japan, that's the first kit that I bought. I bought the Master Grade Verka New Gundam Titanium Edition, and damn, that thing looked good. I'm just gonna.
So what you do? Go to Danik's house. Don't touch that kit. It might have some substances on it.
Just try.
What about you, Kusama? You new Gundam or Sazabi?
Oh, new Gundam all the way. Mainly just because I love the fin funnels. That's the first time you've seen fin funnels of that type of design. Because I know you had the ones. No, actually, that's the first time you see any funnels, right? Or was that? So. Did Double Zeta have funnels?
They yeah, I think didn't they have them off of one of the Neo Xeon suits? But it was at the end of Double Zeta.
It wasn't the Gyaradoga because that Gyaradoga was in Char's counterattack first, right?
Yeah. No, wasn't it? What was Haman Khan's suit? Didn't she have them?
Oh, Quibbly.
Cubulate. Yeah.
Oh, Quibbly, yeah.
Was it? Did they call it funnel or was it Fang? I don't remember.
It might be Fangs.
Yeah, I think they were Fangs. But, I don't remember.
But I've never seen the fin funnels work like the new Gundams because it was both an offensive and a defensive mechanism. So I was like, wow. Yeah, I was like, that's so dope, and I don't know. That's when I really fell in love with mobile suits that have fin funnel like armaments.
Well, yeah. that's what I did. I made for GBWC this year for Australia. I took a Yak Doga and turned it into Shah's Yak Doga. So nice. I modified parts, made some.
Let's just say it, even if the new Gundam is like the best Gundam ever made, this Sazabi is great too. Such a great design, no?
I would say it's top 5, maybe not best.
No, I'm not saying it's the best, but I mean it's just like in that movie. Just keep in mind that movie we got the new Gundam. We have the Sazabi. We got the Gyaradoga.
Yeah, the Jigen. Yep.
The Jigen.
You had the what's its name? It was like a Zeta variant. It was an evolution of the Zeta that was meant to be
RZ.
Easy, yeah. The Rigsy. Yeah,
Rigsy.
I mean, so many great design in that movie. That ending with the Coney dropping and spoiler alert if you haven't watched it.
Sorry, Danik's about to end the movie for you right now.
If you haven't watched it, I mean, it's been up, like it's been released 20 years ago. So I mean, you can ban me, but
I'm actually banning you. Yeah, go away.
Okay, bye.
That's cool.
But spoiler alert, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The end of the movie, when Char and Amuro come together to stop the colony. Well, Char doesn't have a choice at that point.
No, he's a pod at that point.
Yeah, but like the way he realizing what Amuro is doing is like, oh yeah, I was wrong all along. Amuro, you were right. You are the chosen one. Save me, Anakin. But that ending is fantastic. It's like great movie.
That is a great place to end that, because now keep in mind for 2 series onwards when we discuss this, because the Sazabi was thrown away. We find out what happened to the Sazabi later, because I watched that movie and I thought, what, He tore the pod from the Sazabi, and it's just what? It's floating out there somewhere?
Mhm.
No. Okay. Next up, we move into a 2010 release, so quite a many years
Controversial
later.
shown all these days.
UC date 0096. And if you watch any Gundam, you'll know that is Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, either a 7-part OVA or what they're about to do to Origin. They took the OVA and converted it into a series length. Was it 50 episodes or did it go 40 something? And it became Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn RE 0096.
It was not 26 episodes?
26? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't watched the series. I've only watched the OVAs. So
Yeah, the OVA
Yeah, I
was
haven't watched the
6
series
and
at all.
the series was 26.
But I would say Into the Sky, I forgot the chick who sung it, but for that series, one of the best openings for a Gundam series.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Oh, it had great soundtrack. I actually had to find, like Thunderbolt, it had such good music. I had to actually go and find it and put it on my iPod.
The main team, like just the Gundam Unicorn main team.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Hang on, I might be able to tell you.
What you're doing?
Oh, I've got my iPod right in front of me.
No, you can do that on YouTube, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna get
right.
copyright strike.
No, I'm just telling you who sang it.
Ah, okay.
It had really good music too.
He's like Swano.
Yeah, Hiroyuki Sawano.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was great music. Like just that, and two of my favorite tracks are called Unicorn and RX-0. If you want to find those guys, listen to those. They're just like, it's almost inspirational music.
Yes, it is. Well, that's the whole story of Unicorn. It's like hope, inspiration, like looking toward the future, working together.
So another song, Merry-Go-Round by Chemistry, which is the end of, I think, the Over the Rainbow episode. So yeah, there's so much good music, good storyline. The animation's good. Would you put it on Thunderbolt good level or?
Well, not as good as Thunderbolt.
5-year difference.
What's great about Gundam Unicorn? It's they use CGI to animate the unicorn, the transformation, and it blends perfectly. So like, it was a great step towards using CGI for Gundam. And that's a big issue with anime habitually, like they overuse CGI and it looked bad. Like I just think about Overlord last season that looked really bad, or the new one, my life as a slime in another word. I don't know, but that the CGI is. But in Gundam Unicorn it looked great.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Unicorn, as you know. Like I got like all the. I don't know. Oops. Like
you've got all the model kits,
yeah. Forget about that. Like I'm too drunk, but it's not gonna happen. But I got all the Unicorn right there, like on my left side, right here. The Banshee, the next Unicorn. I got a Unicorn right there, the mega size one. Huge fan of Unicorn. Really love that show. The music is great. Animation is great, and it's one of my top 5 show right here. And the ending too. The ending. I'm not gonna spoil it, but like if you're a fan of
you spoiled Char's Counterattack. Why not spoil this one?
But if you love Char Counterattack, you're just gonna love that ending too. And Banager is an interesting pilot too. Banager's and the what is his name again? The bad guy.
Full Frontal.
Full Frontal. I mean, he's a cool guy. The Sinanju. Fantastic looking design. The Sinanju look great. The Unicorn look great. The Banshee look great.
The Girazulu, there was what's the one, the quad wing, the
Castria, man. What the hell?
I'm not a fan, but I know a lot of people.
I'm not a fan of the Castria. Get the hell out of here, man.
So in the chats, a couple of people have said Unicorn for the win. It came out before Origin ? Yeah, so we've been saying the dates as well as the UC date. So the actual release date of Unicorn was 2010, but the release date of Origin was 2015. So, and Thunderbolt was 2015 as well. So, yeah, the timeline obviously doesn't flow correctly, but in release years, Unicorn was before, 5 years before.
And much like how we mentioned with Char's Counterattack with best mobile suit designs and just a crisp storyline and characters, this one just, I think, to me personally, takes it to a whole other level. It had possibly the best transformation sequence of any Gundam series, with the unicorn first transforming into the destroy mode. Like, it always gave me goosebumps when I first watched it. Like, I don't know, just the first main battle between Cassatra just storming into the colony and just laying waste.
Yeah, man, it looked fantastic. Just want to show the design that someone, William in the chat, remind me, but
Yep. So you also had the Delta Plus, which
There you go.
was the Hyakushiki Gundam lookalike.
the master
you
grade
could
is a piece of crap. I heard, but I haven't built it. But that
I've
design,
seen the HG, and apparently it's okay as a parts former. Like, it's not that bad. It's
For
not
what?
like RG Zeta Gundam bad.
Oh, I mean, I never built the high grade, but the master grade isn't terrible, but yeah, it could have been improved on.
we need a 2.0.
Yep.
A lot of things need a 2.0. So yeah, that I don't know where that sits in the list, but yeah. Okay, so out of Unicorn, we head into 2017, and you get Mobile Suit Gundam Twilight Access, which is also UC date 0096, and it's about, is it 6 months after the timeline? I think it's 6 months further.
I
in
haven't
the
watched it,
timeline
so I
from
can't
you.
help you, man.
Yeah, it's a very short. It was a very weird. It was that there were only 3-minute episodes, which totals 12 to 15 minutes or something of time on watching time. And you start with the promotional poster was a scene of the Sazabi laying on the moon. So after the events of Shah's counterattack, the Sazabi was thrown away. It's floated. Yep, it's crashed on the moon.
There you go.
And yeah, that's sorry, not on the moon. Access.
Mhm.
That's why it's called Twilight Access. It's actually the Access.
Was it good? Did you like it?
It was weird. It was so weird to watch. Like, I actually pride myself on being able to understand most anime, and it was fucking weird. Sorry for swearing. I had to watch it 6 times, and I'm like, I'm gonna need to read someone's like thing about this because I can't work it out. So yeah, it was good. It's got good animation, very short. So if you want to actually watch it, you're only committing yourself to less than 20 minutes of watching time. And yeah, it's got some good battle scenes. It's got what else? It's got, I want to say good storyline, but the storyline's really hard to understand. So yeah, it's worth a watch if you've got nothing else to do. Go and watch this.
Yeah.
So,
It has some okay designs. The Zaku 3 was pretty dope.
that was an interesting one.
I just wish we didn't get it as a P Bandai and it wasn't just a carryover from the already existing one.
Was there an existing non-P Bandai one?
Yeah, it was. And all I did, I think they recolored it, and I think they gave it a different weapon and maybe like a couple of new pieces, but it was the same kit.
Yeah. Yeah. It had some good designs. Unfortunately, the Tristan came out of that,
Yeah.
which a lot of people hated on. I haven't built it yet. I've heard that you can do great things with it if you're willing to put in the effort.
Austin, one of the moderator from Gunpla Network, is working on one right now, and it's not that bad.
I mean, all you have to do is switch out the joints with the new universal joints, and I think Bandai sells those joints separately now. And all you have to do is get like the hip joints that are universal with the peg and the rotation, and just like shave like the top part of the thigh armor, plug it in. I mean, you're kind of good to go.
Okay, yeah, I've seen someone use the joints and stuff from the GM, and that seemed to be okay. So, right, let's move on. Mobile Suit Gundam F91, which was way back 1991 movie release. Now, I heard they had planned to make this it was meant to be like a 52 part series, but something happened to funding, storyline. It ended up being squashed into a movie, which was almost illegible storyline wise. There's a lot going on. That has a UC date of 1 2300123. So you're skipping from UC 0096, 37 years into the future. And in that time, they worked out that if you actually just shrunk the size of the mobile suits, you got a more powerful.
That makes sense.
Suit. So all the suits are actually, I think, like, what are they, 14 meters tall instead of 17 meters or something?
Yeah, they are like 15 meters tall, and actually like I think the new is like 18, 19 meters tall. So
yeah, that's right. They brought them down in size, crushed them down a bit, and they got better.
The story was not bad. It was a bit rushed. That's the issue. The movie's not bad, but like I said, it's a bit rushed. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
No, go for it, man.
Yeah, I have the Blu-ray, and I've watched it I think 3 times in the past about year. And it's super interesting in the beginning because they're coming to retrieve the princess. It's really good battles. I don't really like Seabiscuit. I don't see the I don't know. I don't see him as a good character at all. He's kind of whiny and he always gets hurt. Yeah, I don't know. I like the beginning just for some of the battles and just kind of the dialogue. But man, once it gets near the end, once she's like back with her faction, and I don't know, I lose interest.
Yeah, I feel you drag at some point, but that's a shame because it had so much potential and the suit design looked great. I remember when they announced the MG F91 2.0, we were talking together and I was like, man, I am getting so hyped for that design. And you were like, yeah, man, that was cool. And the F91, we were talking about Top Gun earlier, and the F91 just made me think of a jet fighter.
Yeah.
It's just like,
with all the fins and stuff on it, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I think it looked fantastic, and such a shame. Even the Vignagina and the
unfortunate name.
Yeah,
Very close to
so easy to make fun out of it. But
there's actually, I'm more impressed with, instead of the Federation, which has like dated mobile suits in this one, I'm more of a fan of the what's its name, the Crossbone Vanguard.
Yeah.
I like their suits, like all their grunt suits are really interesting looking. So I'm really hoping for in this new UC project coming up that we're going to get something like a Crossbone Vanguard anime, and we'll get the Gundam X1, X2, X3 Crossbones.
More Seabiscuit.
No. No.
Next up, 1993 release. 2 years later, we got Mobile Suit Victory Gundam, UC date 0153, so 20 years into the future. Now, I have only seen 3 episodes of this series because every time I try watching it, I nearly fall asleep.
I got you beat by 1 episode. I got to episode 4.
Right, yeah. The design's cool. I like the Victory, the V2. They're cool designs. But the storyline just puts me to sleep, and I don't know what went on here with that one.
So none of us watch it.
I'm gonna try and get to it over Christmas when I've got a week off. I'm gonna try and watch a few episodes.
I mean, you can be a fan of Gundam, Mark. You don't have like to punish yourself. It's all right, man. It's all right.
I know. I'm gonna try though. Like, so if anyone has seen Victory Gundam and liked it, you're a small group, I'd say. Yeah. All right, we got a lot to go through.
I heard the Master Grade is not that great too.
It's not. I got the V1 and V2, and I'm sorry, they're horrible.
They're horrible.
Yeah, the Verkaz.
Oh.
Yeah, and they are just like gonna release the expansion set for the full Buster mode.
Yeah, I'll probably get that. I'm not gonna lie, but
it's so great. Cool, but here's my money, Bandai.
They're cool looking. That's a shame. Anyway, now I was told when I asked people what should I watch years ago when I started watching Gundam, what should I watch next? Someone said watch anything except for G Savior, which is release date 2000, so just 18, 19 years ago. UC 0223. So this is like 100 years more into the future. This is a live action American.
Oh yeah.
It's where like a studio.
Yeah. I would put the live action in quotations since it's very heavy CG. Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
That's why like when people say when people say, oh, we already had a first live action, I'm like, you can't really say it's a true live action because most of the whole thing was all CG.
Mhm.
It's like the Lion King that's about to come out. It's like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
not really
exactly.
live action.
That was what I was about to say. Actually, like, is the Lion King live action or is it CGI?
Yeah,
Well,
it's animation.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Aladdin's coming as well, and I'm excited for that one. So
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, but it's live
Um,
action though. It's not CGI. Whatever.
no, this the genie and stuff.
I need more wine.
Yeah. So I don't know about this one. I haven't seen it. I haven't.
Look fugly, man.
Yeah, I was told to avoid
I'm
it
just
at all
going
costs.
out there. I'm hating on it. Look at that.
Mhm.
Look at that.
That's the game. Yeah.
Oh, it's alright. I'm gonna hate on it. That looks fantastic.
Look at that beautiful, but that big boy.
But like that thing looked great. It's not bad. I
Well,
like
it
that.
has a lot of variants. Like
Yeah.
it has like an atmosphere mode. It has a space mode, a ground mode. I think there's like
They
an
all
assault mode.
But like,
Hacks or something?
what is that, guys? Like,
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that
oh
is.
goodness.
Charade.
Gundam at that part was like at his teenage year, it was transforming slowly. He was not sure it was between phase. It was just moving out of his parent house.
Well, this was Canada that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So they took the helm on this one.
So he was
Oh.
moving out of his parent house, not sure, doesn't have a lot of money, working minimum wage.
Mhm.
Blame Canada.
It's all right. Blame Canada
Sorry.
all the time.
All right. So yeah, I was told to avoid at all costs, and I still haven't gotten to it. I've had better things to do with my life. So maybe one day. I don't know. Anyway, but I'm going to move us into a new century now because that
I'm
brings us
just
to the
gonna
end of.
take some comment in the chat really fast. William is saying, I feel like all the Gundam pilots are whiny except Hero and Setsuna. Hero is a psychopath and Setsuna is a Gundam.
Well, Setsuna's kind of like emotionally inept.
He's a
He doesn't
sociopath,
really-
like
Yeah.
Mika.
you
Yeah.
have whiny
like Mika.
psychopath and sociopath. That's it. That's like a Gundam pilot.
Yeah. So, nah. All right, I'm going to move us into that though. I want to go.
You got
into
the
after-
Robo Trap saying hi, Krow. So that's it. Okay, next one.
Okay.
All right. After Colony, so we'll move to North America's. I think
That's
was
our
that
stuff
first
right here.
edition? Yeah. Gundam Wing release date 1995, and I don't know if it's a play on it, but AC 195. After Colony 195 was the date in the series. So Gundam Wing, I think this might have actually been a Gundam series I saw clips of on Adult Swim or something. I think the anime late night cartoon show here in Australia. Years ago when I was watching like Evangelion and stuff. So early 2000s. But I like it. I dig it. 5 Gundams because it kind of every series you see, it's like 1, maybe 2 Gundams can solve the whole, galaxy's problem. But they took it to the next level and said, well, you know what, like it can't just be 1 or 2 people. You're gonna need a whole team. So we've got 5.
And also, this series, I don't remember any other Gundam series that actually like really focus heavily on the creators of the Gundam of that kind of arc. So like you see the different professors all have their own little quirks, and you can kind of see how they are, and like okay, I can kind of see how he why he built that kid because how his personality is, or that was definitely an interesting part of the story.
Yeah, definitely. Because they they all worked together. Was it with a 6 guy as well to create the tall geese? That was the
first one.
original design. Yeah, the original mobile suit, and then they worked back from there and created the Gundams for each colony. So I dug it. I really enjoyed Gundam Wing. Probably the Wing Gundam, the original Wing Gundam, was my favorite. Followed by the Death Star.
It'd be Nataku, all forms, all of them.
We discussed
Ultron.
this in chat. You're like weird. I don't know why you like that one. Sorry.
It's still, like, okay, so granted, Wing came after G Gundam, and G Gundam had Dragon Gundam, but it's like I don't know. It's just extending out like arms, and they have dragons at the tip of it. That just screams badassery. And it's a 100% melee suit. I mean, I don't count the little flames that come out as that's like mid range, but it's like it's melee, man, fist to fist or fang to fist.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm gonna be I'm gonna be the unpopular kid right here, and I don't like Wing Gundam.
You don't like any of the designs?
I don't like any of the design. I think it
Wow.
looks super fuddly.
You don't like
Yeah.
heavy arms. You don't like
Hmm?
You
you
like
don't like heavy
Epion?
arms. Sandrock,
No, no,
Epion.
I don't like any of them. I think they
I
look
like
like.
Torghast.
I mean,
I think
I
Torghast.
got the proto wing on my collection, but that's because I wanted to. It was when I wanted to do my first like custom paint, and I say, yeah, I don't care about the design. If I f it up, I don't care.
Mhm.
So this is how much. It's not my thing. It's like I watched it back in the day when it was on Toonami.
Yeah,
Mhm.
You
Tsunami.
remember
Yeah.
that? You remember that day? And I watched it. I mean, I watched a couple of episodes. I was like, yeah, no, I didn't like it, and it's maybe because it's cheesy. It's because like, I
Oh, it's
mean,
cheesy. Yeah.
it's so cheesy, but I wasn't into it, guys. I'm the kid that got beat up in the backyard, you know, like.
No. I understand. It won't be popular with everyone. So,
Yeah.
it's not my
I
thing.
respect what it did for the franchise. Don't get me wrong. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
of
bash
course.
anyone that like it. Like if you liked it, that's great for you. It's not my thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, it brought it to the Western culture. So and like William Wilmers said here, he goes like, yeah, Gundam Wing is the show that brought me into the series, and
Yeah.
it would be the same for a lot of Western / American culture.
Hmm.
That was their first,
Well, that was the
especially
first one that came here. I mean,
yeah. And then, I mean, follow into Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, release date 5 years later, 2000,
mhm.
AC 195 into 196, that one. So, yeah, that was cool. Obviously, we got the 5 Gundams upgraded.
Mhm.
Torghast 3.
Well, they technically weren't up. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like to my knowledge, they're the exact same mobile suits.
It was different designs. Were they Verkar?
Yeah, so like they just have the Katoki, I guess, and maybe Chad can correct me, but like the OVA, the mobile suits are still the ones from the TV version. I guess they just changed it just for aesthetic purposes, but I don't know, like
They
as far
changed
as
it
I
for the
know,
money, Dennis. They changed it for the money.
yeah, more likely.
Let's just
Um,
get real here.
let me just double check. I think if I check and say the mechanical designer of Endless Waltz.
I mean, what's the heck with that mask right here?
Oh,
Um,
he's a circus
Yeah,
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 so
I know. I'm
a
just like
performer.
I'm just not into it, you know. Like
Mhm.
I like my mobile suit when they look like machine of war. I'm not a big fan when they look like toy. So that's why I'm like, I might like the Ultron a little bit because I like the green color pattern. We
Mhm.
don't
yep.
see green that often in the Gundam universe. I went on a Gundam, but the
Yeah.
dragon heads, they're like,
Oh, I love it.
yeah, I get that. I get that. It's me. It's something wrong with me. I didn't have enough love when I was a kid, I guess.
So it says here, yeah, mecha redesigns. One of the most notable features of Endless Waltz was the massive redesigns of all 5 Gundams, courtesy of Hajime Katoki.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, so
Verkar.
Yeah, so I think like the actual novel Endless Waltz is what's canon. Like the OVA is non-canon.
I think you're right.
But I think they look much better.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that'll take us into the next era then, which is Cosmic Era, and this is a love-hate. It's a love-hate. This one, I know there might be a lot of comments depending on how many people are still awake in the chat.
It's getting real.
Gundam Seed. Now, I don't have the release dates and stuff for the rest of this. I was getting a bit lazy. Sorry, guys. I ran out of time. So Gundam Seed. I can't remember when I saw it.
Seed is okay. It's so much like 79.
Okay.
Like,
Okay, I'm gonna get in there. I love Seed.
Mhm.
I love Seed. Like you can hate me in the chat. I don't care. Like I'm not, what you didn't like Wing, but you love Seed. Like what kind of a-hole are you? I love Seed. I just love
I love Seed. I love the Ale Strike. I just did the RG custom version.
Strike, the freedom look great. The justice look great.
No.
No, shut up, Mark.
no, the Blitz is number 1.
Yeah, the Blitz look great. The Buster, guys, the freaking Buster look fantastic.
Yeah.
The Blitz, the Jewel,
the Jewel, they all look great. The Savior, it's okay. But the story, I mean, Jesus Yamato. I mean, what else can we say about that? And the story is a bit meh, but as a kid, how old was when was it released again?
It came out in 2001.
2001. So
It was 2000.
I was 12 years old when it released. So like that makes sense for me, you know, to like see that. I was impressed, you know, that was impressive for me. Giant mech battling each other, like you got Gundam Wing, like, oh yeah, okay, it's giant mech, but they look like toys. He's like, man, that looked like a real thing that could kill me, you know. So
yeah, I'm okay with it. There was some cool designs. Storyline was interesting, but I can't do the freedom. Just no.
I love the freedom.
I love the freedom. Actually, I just don't like the strike freedom.
Yeah, we are getting into this pretty soon. But the freedom, the MG Freedom 2.0, fantastic kit. Fantastic.
Yeah, I've heard it's a cool kit.
I'm just gonna show it on the screen right here. Is it that one? Yes, it is. There it is. Another great kit for beginners. Look fantastic, and you don't like it, Mark, but it's all right. You have the right to be wrong.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I can't do it. It was like as soon as you got this suit, it was like, right. So no one can stop.
I'm like the guy saying, yeah, I don't like my suit when they look like toy. You look at that thing with Kanan everywhere. It looked like a super toy, and I'm like, yeah, man, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was definitely badass, and I just love all the, I don't know, like for the redesign of the 2.0, I just love the mechanical, but also kind of spikiness it has.
Yeah, the Justice too, man. The Justice too, like.
I'm actually not as much of a fan. It's just too much Green Goblin, and
Dude, I was not a fan of the Justice. Okay, I'm telling you, I was not a fan of the Justice, and I built it, and I freaking loved it now.
Oh, the MG, yeah.
This is such a good kit that it made me fall in love with the Justice. I seriously, I didn't like the Justice. I was like, oh, it's too out there. It's like it got a jet. I was not into it, and I just built it. And fantastic! You have to build it. Like
I have the real grade. But
yeah, but the master grade is something else. I'm telling you, man. Just trust me. It's a fantastic. It made me fall in love with the Justice. So yeah.
So the one problem someone's actually brought up in the thing I was about to say in the chat was Seed had a lot of reuse in the scenery. So basically, if you saw like the Freedom slashing through mobile suits, they would just copy that scene and reuse it in the animation in the next. And I swear I counted it 2 or 3 times in some episodes. They would reuse the same scene.
But I mean, it's normal practice in animation. But I agree and see they really overuse it.
Really overused. Well, so for anyone in the chat who hadn't seen Gundam Seed, it's basically just Universal Century. Bring it forward, newer animation and stuff. And instead of new types, we have coordinators, which are genetically modified, you know, enhanced human beings that were designed. They live in space in colonies that look like, what is it when you turn it upside down? The timers? Yeah. They look like those, like an egg timer, a sand time counting device.
Zaft,
yeah, and Zaft and Earth Federation. So, is it a United Earth Federation or something it was called? Yeah.
Something like that.
So that's what that is. That's what Seed is basically.
And Zaft.
You have old types or normals versus new types or coordinators. So.
But yeah, behind the scene, the big issue with Seed, it's not a war story at first. It's more like about teen drama, because the writer that wrote on that show, like behind the scene of Seed, sorry, the writers that worked on that show was a married couple. And they were doing a lot of novels, like teen drama novels, and they were hired to do Seed, and they just like did a teen drama in the Gundam universe. So that's why.
Are they the same that did Seed Destiny next?
Why are we talking about that?
Yeah, we can skip that.
Talk about them.
Yeah. So okay, let's do it. Let's see what shit. And if you like it, you don't have a soul. And
Seed Destiny was cool. It had some cool designs. I like. Yeah, it did.
No,
it had Destiny, but
no, Destiny. Yeah.
I'm like looking on my shelf, like what else did it actually have?
Impulse. I like the Impulse. It was like the new Strike Gundam for this
compared
series.
to the Strike, man. I mean, No, I don't agree.
Yeah, no,
the
it was.
sword impulse is
I mean,
okay. I like the
the,
sword
the,
impulse.
the
Yeah.
new main protagonist was so bad that they bring back Kirat Yamato. I mean, that's oh my god, like it was like Twilight Part 2.
I actually like
Why?
Twilight Part 2. Don't
You
I
like
shouldn't try
that?
that.
Okay, so we're done tonight. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no. So I like the Destiny, the Impulse, the Strike Freedom was okay. Yes, there's Freedom. Go.
oh yeah, I forgot to say
Um,
the Providence was great and Seed 2. I like the
yeah,
Providence.
yeah, but then you get instead of the Providence, you got the what was the one? The Legend.
It was okay.
I like how they had to put in the English. I'm not sure if it translates in the Japanese. It was like name in Legend launching, not just like he was calling himself a legend. Yes, I'm
Okay.
launching. Yeah.
So see Destiny happening right after Seed. A couple of years after, we got a new main protagonist, Shinatsuka, whiny little brat.
Well, yeah, but his story carries from Seed.
Yeah,
He was
his
victim
family
in
got
Seed.
killed in a fight with the
fight.
Freedom, and now he
Yeah.
hates the Freedom. He hates everyone. He's super emo, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody like him, and he don't like anybody. And
That's
he
right.
was so bad that and episode 26 he killed like the Freedom, but it was so bad that they bring back Jesus Yamato, and yeah, bad TV show. And they created the Strike Freedom, and I just want to throw it to Dennis because Dennis was like, "Yeah, I don't like the Strike Freedom." So Dennis, that's your time. Have fun, bash the Strike Freedom.
I mean, it's not as much it's a bad design. It's just like it's like a I don't know, like an 8-year-old's wet dream of a
It looks
robot.
a bit stocky.
Yeah, it's so much, and I'm like, I don't know, like the Freedom I think had a good balance. Like, yeah, it kind of had a lot of cannons and it spammed,
Mhm.
but this, I mean, now it has funnels that I mean,
Get
granted,
go.
it can only work in space, so that's kind of like it's a little handicap.
Mhm.
But gee, man, it has like everything. It has an answer for every situation, and I don't like that.
Well, that's because it's built up by Jesus Yamato. You know,
Yeah,
that's like,
like,
it's the plot. The plot armor is thick with that one.
and then the gold inner frame, I don't think looks good.
Yeah.
God damn it! Oh, by the way, and see, we got the Akatsuki. That look great. I like the Akatsuki.
The Akatsuki was cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
The Ashtray. Well,
Yeah, I like the Astros. They were cool.
mhm.
that's a whole nother series.
Well, I was going to say let's move on because that's after. But the
Yeah,
after
exactly.
See Destiny in the timeline, you could watch CE-73 Stargazer. Now that was a one-shot kind of movie OVA. Have you guys seen it?
Yes.
I've seen it a long time ago, but I know it's kind of weird. Like they would do some kind of weird, like Evangelion kind of stuff.
It's okay. It's a bit rush. The design are interesting.
So there
the-
was
The
what was it?
Luna
How many-
Gazer and the Strike Noir, I think.
Yeah. The Luna Gazer, Strike Noir, the Buster Gundam
Yeah.
made a comeback as the Buster Verde.
Yeah, it's not that great, but
It had like a face grill. over
the
the
Strike
top,
Noir
so
is super cool, and it's like a merc, an assassin that piloted, so it's quite
and
interesting.
the blue jewel.
Yeah, it's you can find it on YouTube. It's like a 90 minutes movie. It's not that it's all right. I mean, if you like Seed, it's better than Destiny. There you go, better than Destiny. That's your bar right there. Is it better than
was
Destiny?
cool.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
weren't they making like humanoid like robots or something like that?
No, it was the Luna Gazer Gundam had an AI program in it that could basically this mobile suit would go out amongst the stars and collect information, and it would know how to deal with people it came in contact with, always learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it ended up having to like trash mobile suits because they came after it. So yeah, more of that like normals versus coordinators sort of thing in that. But then after that, there was a 2-part episode, mobile suit variations for Cosmic Era. It was Astray Blue Frame and Astray Red Frame. Have you guys seen that?
Nope.
Yep. It's like 2 15-minute shorts.
Yeah, they were really, really short. I put the images in the folder. I had to actually screenshot those from the episodes I have.
Yeah, I'm trying to find them. Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
There you go. The suit looked great. I mean, the Astray is one of the most popular kits, so you can deny
Oh,
that the super
definitely.
grade.
That's why it's got perfect grades, real grades, MGs,
Master grade,
HGs.
high grade, real grade, Halda
Yeah.
grade.
I prefer the blue frame.
I prefer the red.
Yeah, there you go.
What about you,
But
Dennis?
yeah,
I like the second L. I think that's what it's called. The blue frame second L.
Blue frame second L.
It's the one with the tactical arms.
Yeah, I'll find it. Second L. There you go.
okay.
Like
That one.
yes, that's my favorite version of any Astray.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
I mean, there was Astray green frame, gold frame.
I'm not seeing like whatever, guys. The guy, the nut guy.
Yeah. But those 2 15-minute episodes, if you can find them anywhere to watch on YouTube, aren't actually too bad. There's, I think, one of them's like a junk build or something.
Yeah, it's where Low actually finds the red frame, and then he does like one battle, and he has that I forgot that dog. It's like the dog that has the beam sabers, and he uses that as like the main weapon. It's like he takes the head of the dog, and it comes with the high grade actually, but it's like dual beam sabers. I don't know how to say it, but it's like one of the dogs from the Seed series.
Oh, okay.
We got a Gunplayer one in the chat saying the Seed was a huge timeline. Yeah, that's true. Seed had a huge timeline, and
It did.
Yeah.
Do not take our lack of enjoyment at this point for anything other than the fact that we're probably all tired. I just finished work. Dennis finished work, and Dennis had like 3 hours sleep or something.
It's 5:30 a.m. right now, and I'm getting drunk. Like,
oh jeez,
that's my life, guys. I don't have school anymore.
Let's
push the next one.
We're going to go into the viewers' century, or our century, I guess you would say.
And I'm out.
Build Fighters. I loved Build Fighters. Build Fighters was...
You missing one.
Which one?
The like fighting builders, I think, or Gunpla builders.
Yeah,
no, that's down the bottom in other.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Good pickup. I like that you've seen it because not many have, but yeah, it's down the bottom. So Build Fighters was what that was about 5 years ago or so. I think it was just when I was coming into Gunpla.
2014.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was just when I was coming in. So it was like, wow, I can actually build the model kits like they're building them in the show. But where's my Plavsky particle machine, guys, so I can fight
No,
damn
you can't,
things?
Mark. That doesn't exist. Stop lying to yourself.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the day that Bandai, well, actually, we'd have a better chance of getting the one from Gunpla Beginning Builders G.
That already happens.
You can scan your custom machine into the game and then play a video game with it.
Well, that actually does exist now.
Yeah, in Japan you have it in the arcade.
Yeah.
No, you can scan your actual model.
No, so over at Gundam Base, I went there, and basically you can make your own model there at Gundam Base, and you can scan it. They have like a custom scanning machine, and it takes I think about 10-20 minutes or something like that. But they scan it 3D into the game, and you can actually use it. You can battle with it, shoot the rifle, and all that.
Is that the new Gunpla experience or something? I think it was called?
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn.
And it's open to the public. When I was there, though, it was kind of shut down, but they still show the little monitor videos and how it works. And I was like, yeah, this is basically that series.
Damn, we need that now worldwide. Go to it, Bandai. Yeah. So Build Fighters. Build Fighters. Obviously, if no one has ever seen Build Fighters, well,
it's okay, guys.
Just kidding. Build your Gunpla, and then you position it on this platform, and you take some virtual controls that spring out of nowhere, and you pilot it. In a game, you actually move the model itself.
And then you can save the world by playing.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I was going to say, because they obviously have 3 damage level settings. So if it's C, I think you get scratches.
Yeah.
B, slightly heavier damage. A, pretty much your kit's going to get effed up. It could be missing an arm when you finish. Yeah. So that was a cool series, and I like that it had that's a big timeline itself, because Build Fighters.
Oh, so many. Yeah, so many spin-offs, like the Amazing series, the Amazing Ready series.
I've read I've only got the 13 translated parts, but I've seen
I found the machine, by the way. So that's that thing right here.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's the thing right here, and you got like multiple camera. It's like, and it's got your Gunpla, and your life
Nice.
can be fulfilled.
So when are you moving back to Japan, Danny?
If I can next year, I apply for the student exchange, but we're gonna see.
Very good. You can scan yours in and play.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
All right. Well, so you had Build Fighters, obviously, and then they took it a step further. Obviously, this is not in order of when they were released, but this is more in order of the timeline. You would have had Build Fighters, GM's Counterattack, which is Gunpla Mafia.
Yep.
A movie one-shot sort of thing, which was really fun. I enjoyed that one. Did you guys enjoy that?
Yeah, it was good.
Nope.
Good time.
All right. Well, you've just.
I'm just saying, guys.
It's fun. It's fun, man. It's fun. It's not meant.
I didn't take it seriously.
It's okay. No, but it's not my thing. Like I'm just busting balls. You know, I'm just being the asshole. Like, no, I don't like that. I sincerely, if you like it, great for you, good for you.
Devil's advocate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like being the. I like being like counterwave. You know, just being the asshole, being like, yeah, no, that's like.
All right. Well, then they continued on. You got Build Fighters Try, which was kind of like an evolution of the series because after the original characters had moved on, you still get to see glimpses of the original characters in there.
More Femina.
That was just shocking. They should never have gone into that shit.
More Femina kids. You like Femina kids, eh? That's.
We've had this we've always had this internal argument, like Dennis, that Danny's like, man, you need to review the Femina kits, and I'm like, no, I can't.
But that's why you are the best to review them because you despise it.
Now, some of the customs that people make are fantastic. Like that GM one. That GM one looks beautiful.
This one right here.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
I find them creepy.
I think you're creepy.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, the default faceplate. Yeah, I don't like it.
No idea, like that.
A double Zeta version. Yeah.
But like that.
No.
Like that.
Yeah, no, can't do it. Can't do it. Get them off the screen. Get them off the screen. We then went on to Build Fighters Try Island Wars, which, like GM's Counterattack, was a one-shot movie.
That was terrible.
50-50. There was a couple of cool designs in there, but yeah, I took it as what it was. It was fun 60 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. No, I think it was less. I think it was like 30 minutes.
Because it's just another fun entry. Yeah. Into the line. Hey, it was better than having no Gundam series for that like 6-month period or something.
Mm-hmm. And then they did tie it back in with Build Fighters with Renji and Reggie and his girl's daughter.
Their daughter.
Yeah.
So it was cool. But then we got Build Fighters Battle Log, which was a 5-part series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I found the perfect picture for you, man.
With all the, and the first episode was basically Meijin Kawaguchi III versus Alan Adams.
Yeah.
That is the episode that doesn't exist. It is dead to me.
There you go.
I don't even know it's episode 3.
The A to Z Gundam look good though. I'm gonna give that. The A to Z look great. I like it.
A to Z Gundam, the 5th episode that one came in,
and the with Sinanju look fantastic too.
White Sinanju, and then the other guys both went for black and gold mobile suits, and then this one, Perfect Grade Exia, great release timing, Bandai.
Well,
to have a Perfect Grade.
There was an ad for the Perfect Grade Exia. I mean,
it was a Perfect Grade Exia.
I mean, that was just the ads for it,
The guy that came up with that episode was like, how to please your bosses and score a bonus this year. Right, the episode about the Perfect Grade release.
But no episode was better than the first one, where we got kind of like a really weird rebattle of Amuro and Char. But like, at least Char was in the Zaku too, but Amuro being in a weird custom reborn. Yeah, that was a weird one, but still cool. Like, once again, he's like, I know that voice. Char, what are you doing here? He's like, why do you sound like what's his name? It was like Ribbons.
Yeah, Ribbons. It was like It's just a weird coincidence.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that was cool. But then I think we move on to 2018 and we got Gundam Build Divers. Now, a lot of people are very quick, Danik, to shit on these series. I actually didn't mind Build
Guilty.
Divers. It was Build Fighters cross Sword Art Online.
This is your self pitch right there. It's Build Fighter Cross Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
Which season
Like,
the second one?
I like Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online's great. Virtual reality, you know, we still can't do that. There's no chance that's coming anytime soon because they can't work out how to make the brain feel, you know, everything that you should be feeling. They have no idea how the brain works. But
I'm curious. I'm curious to have Dennis take on it because he I think he pretty much reviews all the kits on your channel, the Krow.
Yeah.
Check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, most of them.
See what I did there? But
Nice plug-in.
Did you like the H2 Magnum?
I love the H2 Magnum,
Yes.
but not because of the character that pilots it, not because of the series, but because it's simply an H2 base.
Exactly. And I've struggled here in Australia finding a Gundam Age kit outside of one or two of them. Is like Age 3 are the only things we've got on the shelves here.
Yeah.
It's just so hard. So when I saw the Age 2 was coming, I was like, yes, send me that kit. I will review it. I love this kit.
Yeah, even here in Japan, it's actually ridiculously hard to find Age kits. Like you can find them, but you like trying to find the one you actually want. Like I've been searching for a G bouncer. I can't find a G bouncer anywhere. I cannot find a Genowaste 2 nor a Genowaste 2 custom. I can find some of the Vagons. Yeah, I could find the Shadow Dolls and the Adels, but like some of the ones that are more obscure that I don't think really sold well.
That's so weird because in
can't find
Canada
them.
they are so easy to find.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're not that popular. Nobody liked the Age here, so like everybody's overflow with overstock.
So that's where
I got
went
the
to.
G Bouncer, I got the H2 normal, I got the Geno Sia, whatever. We got the Dinozyne that we're giving away at our Christmas stuff. So
I actually want the Clench custom.
But
oh yeah, I got both of
finding
those. The regular Clanch and the Clanch custom, the blue and the with like pink or whatever. Those some great designs.
Yeah. Damn
talking
you.
about Build Diver, actually. I hate
the like Age has very, very sentimental value to me because when I first came back into Gundam, from like when I just completely quit with Wing and G Gundam, Gundam Age was actually the newest series, and I got into Gundam right when Age was coming out, like maybe a month later. So I was like, okay, like this is something new. I could definitely get into it. And I absolutely loved it. While everyone was trashing it, saying it, oh, it's a cartoony looking series. Oh, we want Universal Century. I was like, hey, I'm new. I'm new to this little like shindig, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I think the first arc was amazing. Second arc was even better. Third arc, yeah, I didn't care for that one, but I started my YouTube channel on the basis of reviewing Gundam Age kits because I didn't think many people were going to do that. So I bought every single Gundam Age high grade that's ever released, minus P Bandai, and all master grades. And I love
There's not that many though.
So yeah, I just want to go back a bit on the Build Diver before we move, because I'm no as like a hater of the whole Build Fire stuff, but I really dig some of the design from Build Diver actually. Like I really like the Below Sky. I think it looked fantastic. I like the H2 Magnum because I'm with you, Dennis. I'm a big Age design fan, and I know we are a small community. We have like to help each other.
Yeah,
man. I reckon the Age community is bigger than the Reconquista NG community.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's all right. That makes sense.
So, Bandai, if you are listening, please reprint all Age HG kits. We want them.
Well, we're going to reprint it if people buy it, man. I mean, that's a business in the end. You can ask whatever you want if people don't buy it.
He's saying in Japan, like he can't find them there. So we're
because it's born in Japan too.
Yeah, you can find some of the more like, I guess, more common ones. Like I still see like the Genowaste or like some of the vegan suits, like the Zudis. I still see that one. But yeah, I don't see the main Gundams anymore. So
Well, if you're looking for age 3, check out the Hobbyco website. They've got some. Yeah, that's the only ones I've been able to find here. All right, so let's move on to Outer Build Fighters. We'll head into the after war century.
No,
which
that's my stuff right there.
only had one series, Gundam X.
I freaking love Gundam X.
90s, 94, 95.
After War X, Mark. After War X.
I liked it. Look, I've still got 10 episodes to go to the end. I haven't finished that one, unfortunately, because it's subtitled and I need to be sitting and watching it to concentrate. But definitely a good series. I like it.
Go for it then.
There's a few Gundams.
I like the Versago. That's about it.
Yeah. So I'll be the one, like, I didn't like Gundam Wing, but I freaking love Gundam X. Okay. I love the design. I love the story. I love the protagonist. I don't remember the name of that girl right here. I loved everyone in that show. I just think it's a super show, and it's too bad that it was canceled.
New type, powerful girl that gets kidnapped a lot.
Yeah, it's my Zelda right here. Yeah. I love the X. I love the double X.
Double X is my favorite.
That makes sense too. I like the whole concept with the moon and everything.
Oh yeah, the G bits, yeah.
The Master Grade Double X is one of the best Master Grade ever made. Super easy to build, and it look great. Look great on the shelf. So if you can buy one, get one.
How are the wings with the moon and solar panels? Like how are the wings with the they've got the reflective strips or something?
Yeah, they reflect the lunar solar energy, whatever the lunar energy, and they do like the big beam. Man, I've watched that show like 10 years, 15 years ago. So don't ask me, and I'm like. I just drink like a whole bottle of wine, so don't ask me about details.
No, I'm asking about the kit. When you build the kit, how's the reflective stripping or whatever?
Oh yeah,
they were good.
They look great actually, and they got what all they did. They put like silver stickers.
Yeah, all it is a sticker, and you just put the clear piece right on top. But it looks beautiful.
Okay. All right. Well, definitely a series. It's a one-shot kind of series. Was it 38 episodes?
No, it was 51. It was either 49 or 51 episodes.
No, it was lesser than that, right?
You sure?
I think it was 38. Yeah, after war.
Shit, I'm at episode 32. I thought it was almost done.
List of after war Gundam X episode. It was 39.
Oh, okay.
7 away.
It was canceled on December 28, 1996.
Yeah, I was close. 95, I said. All right. I know my Gundam even when I haven't finished watching it. So, that was a cool one. I like that series. I actually quite like the Leopard.
Yeah, I'm just going to show you. Both of them are custom, but look at that.
Yeah. Oh, it's similar, though.
That's the X and that's the double X. They look so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of like the Leopard and the Air Master. I like the side Gundams. Yeah. Like transform, it was like weird. It was like transformed into a little plane.
Yeah, very, very little tiny thing. The high grade is fantastic too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they released that updated high grade. I think in like late 2014 or early 2015. But it's good.
All right, I'll check that out. I haven't got any Gundam X yet. I was thinking about the double X at some point. But...
You should, man. You should. Sincerely, you should.
I'm just waiting for Versago high grade or a master grade, especially a chest break version.
Oh.
Okay, let's move to another Gundam series that was is a bit of a controversy these days with the political correct climate because nobody wanted Tequila Gundam. Everybody wanted Tequila Gundam. Let's go with
Mobile Fighter G.
Yeah.
Everyone, this is worse than Seed. Everyone can have a Gundam.
It's not worse than Seed. It's a whole other concept.
No, it's worse than Seed. Everyone can have a Gundam.
Oh, goodness. Someone's going to kill you, Mark. You can't say that kind of thing on the internet.
Everyone can have a Gundam. Okay?
But that's the whole concept. It's like it's like a Super Sentai. It's not, it's not Gundam.
Danik, they gave Danish people Gundams with windmills or something.
That's why it's so awesome. Have you seen the lumberjack Canadian one?
That was okay, actually. The Canadian one was all right. He swung an axe.
How come? Like I wanted it to be more stereotype. Like I wanted it to have a hockey stick, Where's the maple syrup? We don't have any maple syrup on him. Like no poutine, nothing.
Yeah.
Such a shame.
I can't remember what the Australian one was. I think it was crap. But yeah, anyway.
That's right. I hope it was racist as well.
This was the most politically incorrect Gundam series of all time, I would say, because
that was the 80s.
What country was the zebra? Was that Kenya?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Africa or something. African Gundam.
Gundam zebra. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think it was in Kenya.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh goodness, that's the pilot.
He was wearing zebra colours.
Oh goodness.
So for people not familiar with this series, Mobile Fighter G is basically, they can't work out in the future who is going to rule basically over space and the Earth. All of the countries have moved in. They have colonies in space that represent their countries now, like Japan colony, Australian colony, and then the Earth is like a dumping ground. It's kind of war-torn and, it couldn't support the population. So from space, the people who rule the colonies will every 4 years, is it? I think there's a Gundam fight. And what they do is they have a representative go to Earth. They fight it out until they get to the end of basically, if you've survived, if you've not had your Gundam destroyed, died, or had your Gundam's head ripped off, you survive to the final battles, I guess you would say, and then they have a big Gundam fight where everyone fights one-on-one until they get to a final victor, and that colony or country's Gundam is then the winner, and that colony gets to rule for the next 4 years over everyone. They took the fighting out of it, I guess you would say, without taking the fighting out of it. And that was horrific. The Noble Gundam. Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Was she Swedish?
Swedish,
she was.
So stupid.
Yeah.
There you go, some love.
I hate like there's only like 2 or 3 mobile suits that I believe that was good in the whole series, and that was Burning, that was God, or I guess Shining. Yeah, Shining, God, and Dragon. I consider everything else just trash.
Oh, you didn't like the Maxter? You're American, man. No. You didn't like a Gundam who could box?
It's like they went to Texas and be like, hey, we're looking for some designs. Yeah, like they just basically just went to Texas, which they thought was America, and they're like, yeah, what can you give us some ideas? Like, boxing, football, I don't know. get that robo shit out of here.
Yeah,
that's basically what I felt.
God,
look how stupid. That's all it is. It's a football player, but then he becomes a boxer.
His shoulder pads come off. They become his boxing gloves, and he can ride his.
Does he have revolvers? Does he have revolvers?
Yeah, he does. He can shoot as well.
That's so evident that they went to freaking Texas and they just asked them.
Football, boxing, and shooting. Okay, all right.
They didn't went to New York, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then they took it out of New York. That was where he was from. So
pizza and complaining.
So, but I mean. Yeah, like I don't know if that was much less racist when they came to Japan, because Shining Gundam, martial arts, God Gundam, Burning Gundam, martial arts with a sword as well, and then Rising Gundam, which was archery sword.
Dude, it was the 80s. Everybody was making money before the crash. Everybody was living like a life of abuse and well-being. Like they had the shoulder pad. They had like the outrageous, bad-looking car.
It's not even about like when it came out, because like even you ever watch that show You Laugh You Lose? Not You Laugh You Lose, but it's No Laughing. They do it every year in Japan, but it's a TV show called Downtown, and it's a bunch of comedians. Well, a couple of years ago, one of them did blackface, dressing up as Eddie Murphy from Beverly Hills Cop. It's evident Japan just has never cared about the rest of the world. They're like, we're just going to do what we want.
That's why they are so great.
Well, what about the Danik? Would you say it was less racist for the Tequila Gundam?
What? What was the question?
It's like a Desperado.
Yeah, if you're from Mexico, you get the Tequila Gundam, which looks like it's got like a hat.
Oh God! Stop saying it's racist. It's not. Everybody tastes it. I mean, everybody had a Gundam that make them look bad.
Mhm.
Look at the American one. Look at the Canadian one is not that bad, so I can complain. But look at the
Semi-accurate.
Kenya one. God damn, the Kenya one.
So bad.
What about the Royal Gundam? So if you're British, you wear a top hat with a monocle and you have a
Damn
rifle.
it. Damn it. But like that was G Fighter, man.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know.
at that point,
Well,
it's G Fighter. You have to accept it, and that's the end.
Was
All
there
right,
one that
I'm
was like a cactus?
Yeah, that was. I think that was actually the Tequila Gundam. So it had the hat like a
There you
Mexican
go. I'm gonna
sombrero,
show
Oh,
but it
okay.
also had
it on the
spikes
screen.
coming
There
out
you
of
go.
it.
Yeah, you got a cactus on it. Well, its shoulder look like a cactus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that one actually made it into Build Divers.
There you go.
So
Yeah, but the Build Divers one was way, way better.
yeah,
That is just super trash. Super trash.
It's fantastic.
I'm actually getting triggered.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can trigger.
I was already triggered. Dan's having a
It's so bad. That's the one in the
Yeah, that looks good. That's fine.
Oh god damn. Okay, let's move on
All right,
because we
I'm
can
gonna-
talk about the
I'm
fighter
gonna move
phone.
on. Yeah, I know. I don't want to be here all night, and I've got to go to bed at some point for work tomorrow.
I've been
so-
here all night.
I know. But you're off now. You got leave. All right. So next we're going to move to the Anno Domini Century,
Yes.
which Danik can introduce. Let's go.
Gundam 00 happened in the Anno Domini timeline. It's a story about a group of rebels or terrorists called Celestial Being that want to stop war on the world. People are fighting for the control of a solar station that powered the Earth with solar energy, and they are like a group of Pacific terrorists, like trying to.
I mean, they didn't consider themselves terrorists. I think they were.
Well, they were. They were.
I mean, they were, but they weren't saying that they were terrorists.
No, they were not. I mean, they weren't. They were not saying we are terrorists, but they were. I mean, but their
Yeah.
goal was to bring peace. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was a contradiction. You know, it was like let's bring peace through overwhelming force.
Well, they wanted to create an enemy that everyone could rally against. That was the goal of Celestial Being, right?
I don't think they realized that was the thing. I don't think they realized they were the ones that was part of the plan, the Eolia Schemberg plan. They were going to be rallied against.
Gundam 00 played a really important part in the Gundam franchise because it was the first that was produced as a widescreen, first series produced in HD, and it brought a lot of people to Gundam. Like,
And this was what, like 5 years after Destiny?
yes.
Yeah.
And the suit looked great. The first season is amazing. The intro music, Ash Like Snow, fantastic song. Character are great. It's a pretty good show. Second season was weak compared to the first one.
I actually really like the second season though.
How can we be friends, man?
I don't know.
But
I really like the second season.
well, it was weaker than the general consensus. It's weaker than the first one, but you're right.
But so the first season to the second season to the movie Awakening of the Trailblazer, it was all leading to. It was actually one of the only Gundam series that had like a straight line. Like they started with a plot and they just continued it the whole way.
Mhm.
So that's what I like about it.
Yeah. Did you watch it, Dennis, back in the day?
Yeah, I watched all of it. Not when it first came out, but when I got back into Gundam in 2011, I went ahead and binge watched the entire thing, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah, that was my show back in the day when I was done with school. I was going to my friend's house and we were watching Gundam 00 before playing some Halo 3. And and we were such a big fan of Gundam 00 that we had a team on Halo 3. We were part of the pro circuit back here. And our whole team was like, my gamer tag was Excelmeister. My friend was Dynamite Meister. There you go. We were big into Gundam 00, like really big into it. So that's one of my show.
Yeah, no, and that's why I let you introduce that one. And you'd be quite happy because the Master Grade Dynamis is on its way out.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. Some people in the chat
Right.
actually are talking about the Master Grade Dynamites, and someone asked, just give me a second. Drew Lovely Hell say, I don't quite understand the hype about the Dynamites. It's because in the last 15 years, I think, they only released like XCL, Master Grade XCL or double
In
O
grunt
variant.
suits. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They
the
did
Jinx.
never release any of the other Gundam from the show, so it's a first. And the Dynamites is a really a beloved suit because it's a sniper suit. We don't have that much sniper suit in the
Mhm.
Gundam universe. And Luck and Strattles, I think it's one of the most beloved character in the Gundam universe.
Mhm.
Well, definitely
So-
the season 1. You know, when he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about season 2. And they are doing a live show also about the, like William in the chat remind me, an upcoming live show is coming in Japan.
Yeah.
They just released their first picture of the show. It doesn't look it look cringy, but
I mean, most Japanese live action adaptations of like animes are generally like very over glorified cosplayers.
are you talking about Fullmetal Alchemist?
I'm talking about all of it.
Yeah,
JoJo,
Really?
FMA, Bleach. No.
Bleach was not bad though.
It was
Bleach.
okay, but God, I was just looking at it like, wow, these are just a bunch of cosplayers.
Attack on Titan was bad though.
I didn't even watch that. I wouldn't give that much time.
The Death Note movie were good. And
Yeah,
then-
I'll give you, that was different. Yeah.
but
What
not the
about,
Netflix one, not the
Devilman?
Netflix one, people.
Do you see the Devilman movie? It was mid 2000s.
No.
Yeah, but that was horrible. There was no gore. Like,
No, I know, but it was still at least a live action. Like,
Yeah,
you weren't going
I
to get
didn't-
another one. So.
yeah, I didn't care about it.
All right. Well, Gundam 00. If you haven't seen it, get into it. It's a great series.
It's a great entry to the Gundam universe. It's also, if you want to get in the Gundam and you don't know where to start, Gundam 00 is a great entry too.
You know, I mean, I just built the RGX here this year. Fantastic. I'm actually looking to buy the RG Australia if I can
Yeah.
find it.
Mm.
Should get into the Master Grade line, man. It's pretty good. Just saying.
I'll stick with it. I painted and modified my Dynamis HG, and it looks pretty much as good as my RG Exia. So,
Are you getting the Master Grade Dynamis, Dennis?
Yeah, but
I
well,
may-
like I said, it really depends on timing. If it comes out before the birth, then yeah. But if it's
Yeah.
afterwards, probably not.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
people in the chat that doesn't know, Dennis is expecting a kid pretty soon.
Mhm.
And congratulations to that. I saw your post on Facebook, and we're gonna respect that kid because it's gonna take over Japan.
Yeah,
when's
Yeah.
the expected due date, man?
early March. We're probably looking at maybe March like 14th, but we're not like solidified.
Okay. Well, look, just for everyone watching, from the March 14th onwards, for about a month or two, you might have to go back and watch all these old videos because I have a kid and I know what happens around that time when they're born. You will have
Yeah.
zero time.
Exactly.
You're that kind of parent, huh? You like instead of saying congratulations, have fun. You're like, oh yeah, your life's gonna be hell.
It's not hell, but I mean, obviously,
Like-
your priorities change.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
your
just
wife will need a lot of help at the start. So,
Mhm.
kidding.
so
Okay.
I've been there, done that, man. All right. Actually, and now we get to move on to Advanced Generation Gundam Age.
Beautiful.
Go for it,
great.
Dennis.
Perfection.
Go, Dennis, talk it out.
So-
Give us the plot.
Yeah, I love Flint. He's the main protagonist in the first arc. Basically, he's just like a little, like 12 years old, 12 or 14 years old. Lost his mom in the war, and he just hates the Vegans, who are a Mars colony kind of like people. And their whole motivation is just to come back to Earth because they do nothing but Mars. So they want to come back to their to the home planet. And yeah, so you have Flint, and I think it's just the Earth Federation Force. I think it's just EFF. Or was it something else?
I think it was the EFF, actually. It was just Earth Federation Forces, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, they basically get their whole punched in the beginning, but then all of a sudden, yeah, you got the Age 1, and then it also has a very awesome gimmick, which is kind of already done before with like the pack system and Gundam Seed, but they do. It's like a
Where
I don't know, like a 3D, like a 3D printer. And they just
Yeah,
like
exactly.
they just make all these parts and armaments for the Age system, and Yeah, the age system is basically universal. That's what powers up the mobile suit. Until later on, then they can power it up without it. But
they like hot wire it. Yeah,
yeah. And then season 2, Flint is now like in charge of the fleet. He has a son, Asimo, I think his name.
Asamu,
Yeah, Asamu. Yeah, he's cool. He's edgy. He's a little more ambitious because now he makes like robots.
A fantastic thing right here.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good. I mean, like, everything was fun. Third season just kind of fell off because Kyo, I think his name is. Yeah, he's basically Kira from C. Like he's like, I don't want to kill him, and I'm like, just do it, man. Just kill them all. Flint knew what was up. He was going to commit complete genocide, but
he was like pretty much.
He was like
you had to turn A Gundam's chest. He would have just opened that shit right up and taken them all out.
Oh yeah. He's like, you killed my childhood friend, and he's like, that's justification to kill millions of people.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was a weird one. The third arc definitely wasn't so it's done in, what is it, like 15, 16 episode arcs or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
season 2 I think had more episodes than not season, but arc 2 had more episodes than arc 1.
Yeah. So the War of, what was it? The War of Bats, the War of Extermination or something is the end of season 1, which they talk a lot about in arc 2. Age 3 is kind of like the double Zeta. It's like the fatter, heavier looking Gundam. Age 2 is the sleek, transformable like the Zeta. And Age 1 is like the 0079 original Gundam.
Yeah, and that's why I consider... Yeah, I consider Age 1 Normal to be one of the most flawless designs. And people like hated on the spoiler. That was like the biggest thing. They're like, oh, it's like a race car, it has a spoiler. I was like, so what? I was like, you had everything. You had a mustache, you had a zebra. Like come on. What is a little spoiler gonna do? Nothing. It was fine.
Yeah. So basically that was it. Like you said, the age system would collect basically a little, look like a pocket watch thing, I don't know, sit in the console, it would record the data, it would send it back, and then they would make up parts or weapons on the fly based on the battle data that you had
to counter the enemies.
What they were coming up with.
And the Spallo or Sparrow, however you want to call it,
Spallo, that was great.
So beautiful.
It was like a samurai, a sleek samurai, the Shiguru
more
swords,
like a ninja, but yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, like a ninja. Sorry.
There it is. I'm gonna share it right here.
The Age 1 Spallo,
Now they had so many variations. I played the PSP game. I can't remember what it was called off the top of my head, but when the PSP game came out in 2011, basically you can change out the armaments, of the main mobile suit, but it was an RPG, and it was kind of like a real-time action battle. If you ever have the chance to play it, it's fantastic. I had like the English broken copy that I just like download the ISO file. Super awesome. They have all the different like armaments that you've never seen in the anime. They have one in particular. It's the Age 1 Razor. It's super awesome. Like they actually made the parts in a magazine, so you can buy the magazine and get the parts. But that to me is the best version of Age 1.
Yeah, okay. That actually looks like the wing binders off the Age 2 Magnum almost.
Yeah, it actually it does looks like it.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that, Dennis. I was also a big fan of Gundam Age, and I think the biggest issue with Gundam Age in general that it didn't have enough episode. I hope they had more episode because that was a great concept, like following 3 generations of pilots and like how they influence each others. I mean, that was great. If they had more episodes just to explain more of that story and to explore more of the character, that would have been great. But otherwise, the design, the all this, like I brought my MGH2. Did you build it, Dennis?
I have every kit except for P Bandai.
Okay, I built the MGH2. It's not a great and master grade. I didn't like it, but that kit looks so fantastic.
The reason it's so bad is because the weight just brings down the shoulders, so the shoulder pegs can't just connect into it that well.
It was the leg, man. It was the leg. Something broke in the leg. Like it's so, because of the transformation. The inner frame is so fragile.
Yeah, but it looks good on the shelf. Like mine, it holds up well. I don't know. The Dark Hound is fantastic in both high grade and master grade.
Funny tips. The designer of the suit from Gundam Double is the same. There's the one that designed the suit from Gundam Age. So it's the same guy. But not a bad show. Maybe not a great show to explore the Gundam universe at first.
It's a little kiddie. It kind of seems the animation's a bit bubbly, almost like
it's like Build Divers. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same style, but that was what they were looking to do. Like they wanted to bring back, because after Double had a pretty heavy story, so they wanted to bring back kids to Gundam, and that's why they did Age.
Yeah.
Screw the kids. Adults pay for the toys.
Yeah, but the kids ask for the toy, you know.
Yeah, my son will be. We were watching something the other day, and he's like, "Dad, what's that?" And I'm like, "It's a mobile suit." And he's like, "Mobile suit?" And I'm like, "That's right." I love that.
Plant the seed.
I had him watching Pokemon, and my missus went back to work after 6 months when he was 8 months old. 6 months old, and I took 2.5 months leave. And it was like, we're watching Pokemon, we're watching Transformers, we're watching Gundam. Awesome. He's like, unicorn. He's like, explosions on the screen, and he's like the baby's face. And I'm like, yes, we're correct. You nice and early.
Come here, son. I'm going to teach you the way of life.
Exactly. It's like it would be nothing like my dad. My dad was like rubbish for hobbies I was into. It was like, hey, let's go watch a football game, and I'm like, can I just like poke
Mark, we're not here to talk about your daddy issue.
Can I build that? Can I build football game?
Trust me, if I had, it would have been far more interesting than watching paint dry like I was. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we got very agey in the chat saying Age is worse than Build Diver.
Wow. Wait, who said that?
Very edgy.
All right, very, very edgy. I don't forget. Actually, I'm writing your name down.
Very edgy. Drunk chat, please. Yeah, well, I'm half drunk. I've had a bottle of red wine to myself.
I'm effing drunk.
Yeah, Danik's drunk. You don't need to worry. He's Canadian. Yeah. He's on it. Age is worse than... No, man, come on. I don't know what your justification is. Build Divers was...
Look at his name, guys. Don't take it personal.
Not the best series. Age deserves a chance. I think it deserves a revisit.
Age had some amazing kits. Like, that's what really sold it to me.
Yeah, Shadow Rogue, the pirate-looking suit. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Even the Shadow. The Shadow is a perfect custom base kit. Which
and it's like it was super bright green, which was like
bright green white,
beautiful,
unheard of. Yeah. The GX, the G Bouncer, great suits. You don't see all white mobile suits anywhere.
Literally breaking ground.
Exactly. See, so very edgy.
Ground.
Maybe not so. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. It's all right. You have the right to your opinion, but it's wrong.
That's right. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Sorry.
Next one.
He agrees with you, though. He said Asamu was the best of the 3 parts, so the second arc. We agree. All right. We're going to talk about one that it's like Lord Voldemort, sorry, he who should not be named. The Reglid Sentry, which was Reconquista NG. I don't know how to sell this to anyone. I really don't.
Okay, I can sell one aspect of it. The animation was drastically different than what I was used to of like any anime.
Yeah.
And I like the lead suit. Like
me too.
The G self is fine. I don't see one bad thing about it. But I don't know what the hell the story is about.
It's got cat ears or something. How does it not have something wrong with it?
The Testament has the same exact design of as far as like the little antennas, and people love it.
And Dragon Momoko, I think, were the only people who'd ever made one like Bandai never officially released.
Yeah. Do you? I watched until episode 8. Do you remember in one of the episodes, like the main character is running through a staircase?
Yeah.
And at the end of the staircase, you just end up on a wall. Like the staircase, and it's a wall. Like, do you remember?
I remember that.
Okay, like the main character just running to, like people are fighting outside. You got mobile suit destroying and everything, and the guy just running away on the staircase, and he's climbing the staircase, and it's just a wall. Like, what the fuck is that?
Well, weren't they riding things that look like mechanical dinosaurs at the start? They're like little bipedal.
Yeah, it was some weird ass, like, I don't know what it was kind of like the same thing in Unicorn Gundam that Banaji kind of piloted.
Oh, that was a mobile worker or something. That was like understandable. This one was like a jeep with 2 legs. It was like purpose was getting around with him,
Oh.
I guess.
The suit
I
is
don't know.
great though. I like the design of
G-
the suit.
G Reco.
Like you can crap in your mobile suit. Your seat was a toilet.
That's look at these faces.
I mean,
I really like them.
practical, yes. But I didn't ask how they crap in their mobile suits. I didn't ask that question.
But now you know.
Yeah, and that's the only thing I know. That's the only thing I know about the whole series is like the dude crapped in his mobile suit, and
I think they are remaking it, right?
Oh, it's
hope
getting a
not.
movie. It's getting a compilation movie.
Yeah,
or
they are
something,
remaking
I
it because it
think.
was such.
Yeah.
It was just a mess, man. I'm sure you had a great story in there, but it was such a mess.
I think I heard something about Tamino apologized for this one. I
Yeah,
was
he
like,
did.
damn,
He
damn
did.
straight,
Yeah.
you should have
The
apologized.
guy
for
was
this.
high or something, but like
Yeah.
he was drunk high and
So it says Reglid Century, but I think it's actually the far, far end of the Universal Century. It's like
Mhm.
way past
It's like
Crossbones.
500 years.
Yeah,
I think
it's
that's
like
what it
past
said.
Crossbone, it's past G Savior, it's past everything else. There's
Yeah.
been a cataclysmic event that has basically, destroyed power and machines, and then there's this thing called
Turn
the
it.
Document of Hermes or something. That's where they get their information from, and these powerful people out in space.
Mhm.
It was really hard to understand, so I gave it 18 episodes, and Jesus, that was like the longest. I'm really committed to Gundam Anime, and that was just so hard.
Dude,
It was-
I watched the series twice in its entirety, and
Hello? Did we just
I think we lost him.
who lost Dennis? See, watch the chauvinism.
Bell gets.
Okay,
Oh,
you're
he's
back.
back. Yeah. You had a hang. You went dead for a minute.
I was saying I watched the series twice in its entirety, and I just know like there's a mass dude, and there's like some kind of batteries that get transported from one end of space to the Earth, and I'm just like I don't know, man.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh wait, there's this Gundam just fell from the sky. There's a crazy person piloting it.
Yeah, that has amnesia, and I'm like, who is she? And then she remembers like who she is later in the series. I'm like, I still don't know who she is. Like she knows apparently who she is.
Yeah, well, I think every good Gundam series has basically the right amount of it feeds you information as the series goes on and leaves you with a couple of questions to the imagination. This one left me with more questions than can ever be answered, and half the information you would have liked. So I don't call it a good series. But
no,
Danik, you built a G Rico kit, didn't you?
I did. I built two of them.
Perfect one? Was it the G Self Perfect?
The Perfect and the G Bouncer.
No, the G Bouncer's age.
Whoa. I know, just the G Self.
How drunk are you? Put the wine away.
I mean,
now, I'll say this.
Yeah.
So like I love the G Self so much. I have the assault pack, the little like red backpack. I have the reflector pack, which is P Bandai. I have the atmospheric pack. I have the space pack. I have the perfect one. I have the Robot Damashi G Self. And I've been waiting for all the other Robot Damashis that's supposed to have come out, but I haven't seen them.
So you're the reason they're making a compilation movie because people keep buying that crap and think that they want to see.
They're not crap.
He's like, there's this one dude that just bought all the G Cells that we made. So
let's make a movie for him.
Might as well please him.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I just can't do it.
Yeah, that was cool, man. Anyway.
Oh man, there was this one guy on like GundamForums.com. He kept coming into all the other chats saying, like, when I was on that, it was like, "Hey man, why do we get so much Universal Century?" And I'm like, "Because it's good." Yeah. Like, and everyone was like flaming him. It was like, "All right, well, I'll go back to my G." And then every time someone posted in the G Rico forum, he was then like, "Yeah, it's the best series ever."
Stop bullying people, Mark.
Yeah, sorry guys. I just can't do it. It was like it was so disappointing. I was so excited for that series, and then it just turned horrific. Next, though, we'll move into the correct century. Apparently, it's called Turn A Gundam. I've heard this is a masterpiece. I've tried watching it, and so far I'm 4 episodes in. I think 5 episodes in.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
the sumos are cool.
Yeah, it's got some great designs. The Turn A, the Turn X. I mean, the Turn A is good, minus the mustache.
No, I think the mustache is perfect.
Must be an American
It's
designer.
fantastic, man.
Yeah, it was Sid.
Get it.
Sid Meier's.
It's
Look at
got
that.
reverse
With the
reverse
butterfly wing. Oh my god, that's next
Yeah.
level shit, man.
Like there was a kid who like wasn't there a kid that no, it was Sid Meier's, right? That made this.
I guess, man. You know more.
I think it was like a kid that like drew the design or something like that. But Sid Meier's actually was like the designer for the most of the series. The one I did what's that damn movie? Blade Runner.
Oh, okay.
yeah. Okay.
Hold on, I'll look it up as well. I'm pretty sure.
Well, Turn A, like I said, I've only seen a few episodes of. It's a bit confusing. I'm not even sure what gender the main character is. There's a mustache on a Gundam.
Beautiful.
It was another one of those that just like it. I don't know. It didn't conform to my version of normal. So, yeah. So very edgy is asked. So how many RG Unicorn y'all have built?
Wait.
Sorry.
What was the question?
Did I get the y'all? Is that how you say when you're American? Y'all, like you?
No,
all?
y'all's a southern thing. It's just you all, but y'all.
That's what I'm saying. Well, he said he's abbreviated. He's actually got Y, comma AL. So it's
Yeah, that's how
y'all.
you spell it.
Sorry, guys. I have a tragic American accent. I can't do accents.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't built one yet, but a Banshee is on the list to do. I prefer the Banshee over the Unicorn. So.
Oh, Sid Mead. Let's see. But for the RGs, I built almost all of them except for the double O's. I still have the full Saber Quant. I haven't built that one yet. But pretty much like I built everything else, all the seeds and yeah.
Sid Mead was Blade Runner, Aliens, and Tron.
Yeah, I know he. I'm trying to look at where he had an involvement with Turn A, because I'm pretty sure it was like the designs of a lot of the mech.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, they may have gone out of Japan for once for designers. So, yeah, I mean, guys, I can't tell you much about like.
It was a weird show. The ending was interesting. The main protagonist was a bit of a controversy, but everyone that watched it liked it. So
that's what I've heard. Like, I'm willing to give this one a chance. Like, even though I've found it quite boring to start with, I'm really going to watch this at some point. But yeah,
it's not too bad. Like it's a little bit confusing at parts. It's not bad.
I've heard Turn A was.
Is it as confusing that we can quest NG? I don't think so.
Nowhere near. No.
So
I would just say this: the pilot for Turn X is just a badass. That dude just jacked and crazy.
Yeah,
I like the Turn X.
The Turn X looked great, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like that. Some Turn X love.
Yeah. I still haven't built my master grade for Turn X. Like I need to.
Yeah,
we've seen a master grade Turn X in like a what was it? It was in like a custom color scheme. It was metallics with the
and man, I remember the name of the builder.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the guy. We featured him on YouTube.
For Turn A Gundam, Sid Meier's just credited as the main concept designer and mechanical designer for the series.
Okay,
so I'll take that.
Okay. Well, look, guys, we are coming up over 2 hours now. This has been, like, I think possibly the longest podcast we've ever done. Interesting topics. So let's head in. The others I've got because I didn't know what century to stick them in because maybe they existed over various or it wasn't clear. But Gundam Evolve. Has everyone seen Gundam Evolve? It's actually...
Not all of it.
13 episodes or something.
I don't know what it is.
So basically they took multiple series. It was like every series they did like the RX-78, the Mark II, the Zeta, or the Hyakushiki, the Wing. Yeah, they took like the main mobile suit or a side main mobile suit of each series and did a short story of each, one. So I think it's about 13 or 15 episodes.
That's what I found like the poster.
So you get like the one for Zeta was, or one of the, because I think they did a couple for Zeta. Did you see that one, Dennis? It was the one where Quattro Vagina is sitting in the Rick Dias for testing or something.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, this is so good. We'll have to paint it red for you." And he's like, "I don't get it." Like, pretending not to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. You just get like a different look at each of the series through.
It's a series of promotional short movies set in
Yeah.
different timelines of the Gundam series.
Yeah, it's really good though. Like the Wing one is probably like my favorite one, just because like I don't know, the space battle with the Wing is like super awesome.
Yeah,
it's fun to watch.
The Dreadnought gets a, where you may not have seen something animated previously. So the Gundam Dreadnought gets a show in it. I think that's about near the end though. That one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. If you can find them, you might find them on YouTube. Yeah, it's worth a watch. So it's just a collection of short animated shorts. Yeah. Mobile Suit Gunpla Builders Beginning G.
It's like a three part?
Yeah, I've actually got one. It's condensed into one file, but yeah, it was three parts, 3 arcs, whatever you want to call it. Similar to Build Fighters. Yeah, so the main character goes to a dive bar with his dad and his friend, and they see the giant Gundam statue, and he goes for I want that one, and he misses out, and he gets the beginning Gundam instead. So he builds that. You go to the local hobby store. Now you can scan them in, sit in a pod in the pilot suit and stuff, and communicate with your teammates and play 3-on-3 battle. Gets his wins, gets his ass handed to him by the Majin.
Yeah, I think it was the Forbidden Gundam. Yeah. It was basically an RX-78, but like heavily modified.
Forever Gundam. You had Beginning Gundam and Forever Gundam. It was like the beginning and the end. Yeah. Yeah. So, and that was cool. So that was a cool series because it was slightly more realistic than Build Fighters and Build Divers, and they now have that in Japan. You could scan a model kit and play with it.
Yep.
So that's a cool series. If you can find that, watch that.
Now, I love the Beginning Gundam, and this Gundam always is kind of like the bane for my channel, because it was the first time I ever had huge backlash, because I've gotten the Beginning Gundam and I gave it a little bit of praise, but I kind of criticized the stickers. Beginning D and Beginning J variants of the model kits came out, and I just trashed it. I was like, these things are garbage. Like, how is it that we have Gundams like mobile suits like from 00 and Age that are amazing, but then you have the Beginning, which is heavily stickered, just riddled with stickers. Articulation is just completely lacking, and there's no inspiration. Yeah, I had to delete that video. It has got just completely destroyed, and I was like, all right, like, I apologize, guys, but yeah, like I had passion for the mobile suits.
Yeah, no, that's fair call. Danik, you haven't seen this one?
Nope.
All right, well, that's on your to watch list then.
Nope. I'm just kidding.
Okay, guys, that's going to bring us almost to the end of the podcast. We've just got one show of 2 seasons left to talk about. Does anyone know what that is?
I know what
IBO.
IBO.
So
quite
IBO.
possibly one of the most brutal Gundam series you could ever watch. In a good way, though.
I freaking love IBO.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people. It's cool not to hate IBO. But let's just talk about the story. Like, does anyone want to jump into the story, explain it?
It's set 300 years after something called the Calamity War that we haven't got clarification on yet, but I'm sure there's a series or a manga coming that will explain it. People can live in colonies in space on Mars.
They were Mars.
Yeah, out in space or on Earth. And there's kind of like ruling classes. There's a militant organization called Galahorn who seem to basically be the police force, I guess you would say. There's private security companies. There's pirates. There's, it can either be a free-for-all or it could be really organized depending on where you are in space. The series focuses on a group of, they're called space rats. They don't have any parents, you know, they're space debris. They don't really have families. And the series focuses on these guys who grew up in this organization, CGS, I think it was called, the Chris Group. And then they took it over. They, you know, create their own family, their own home with it, work their way up and kind of get all the way to the top to fall all the way down. And yeah, that's kind of in a broad stroke what it's about. Tons of kick-ass mobile suits, battles. The storyline is great.
99% just raw battles. No beams except for the Hamil or Ashmil.
Exactly. That's what I like about IBO. Actually, it's brutal, you know, like it's like metal to metal. It's not no beam. And the animation is really well done, or whatever. It's really well made, and the fights look great. Like they look fantastic.
But yeah, it was different, like because it was so violent compared to other series that we'd had. You know, like they're not afraid to show, the cockpit if it gets hammered by
at least in that show you can feel like having Gundam mobile suit battle have real consequence. You see the consequences. You know, it's not like it's not Kira Yamato, you know. Like people are gonna die. It's not gonna be clean. It's not gonna be like, okay, you're dying and everything is looking good. No, you're dead, man, and it hurt. And that's what I like about IVO.
All the mobile suits are basically powered by something called an AHAB reactor, which we don't know what it is, but okay, that's what it's called. Only Galahorn really have the manufacturing technologies at the start of the series, but then other people acquire those as they go on. That's where you start getting more grunt suits by companies like Teiwaz, who Tekkadan, the main force, are under. So then the Shidens, the Roadies, you start getting more suits out and about. And it seems like Galahorn at the start of the series were really the only ones that had mobile suits. But then as they go on and they gain more fame, they're called the Heroes of the Rebellion. They change the whole society as a whole. So it kind of shows you different aspects of Gundam, something you wouldn't see in other series.
No, exactly. And the mobile suit look interesting. I like the concept of the
bare frame.
Yeah, the frame is the mobile suit, and like everything is an add-on. Interesting concept. The character, some of them are like, I'm not a big fan of Mikazuki. Not a big fan of some of the main protagonists.
I like how simple he is. He's I love how simple he is. He's like a light switch. He's either on or off.
Well, spoiler on one of the first episode, like spoiler 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 spoiler, and one of the first episode you see like before they became Decadent, Mikazuki gunning down some like their older boss, and it was like, okay, man, that's another level. Like, I mean, you see the kids gunning down people, and
well, that's just it's showing the harshness of reality, you know.
Where exactly.
They treat like shit, and they get the chance.
I like that because it start exploring more mature concept. Not saying that Gundam is not mature, but it was more gruesome, more greedy. But at the end, for me, like Orga, I didn't like Orga at all. Like, I think Orga is...
Now, their relationship was so much like Gurren Lagann. I don't know if you ever watched that.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't watched Gurren Lagann. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you need to watch Lagann. Yeah, that's like blasphemy to not watch Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
I know.
Burn the witch.
Come on, man.
Did we have this conversation, Mark? We had this conversation.
I think you told me, but then I went and watched Gridman. So.
Oh yeah, I still haven't finished that, but.
Oh, I'm one episode away.
So. Yeah, I think Orga. Yeah, go for it. Sorry, Dennis.
But yeah, I don't know. It seemed a lot like that, and I think that's the reason I liked it, because it kind of reminded me a little bit of Gurren Lagann, because they find this mobile suit in the buried. Well, I'm assuming they found it buried, because you see it in the hangar first, but I'm like, it looks like it was kind of buried on Mars first, and I'm like this looks like a lot like Gurren Lagann, and they build upon the Barbados with other like parts from different mobile suits. And I'm like, that's what Grenlagan does. It kind of built itself up from the enemy that it defeated. And I'm like, I see the correlation, and I like it.
We got Yozo in the chat saying it's just stupid violence, but it's great. I agree with that. And the story is not that tight, but the animation is so well done, and the suits are cool. And I think recently it's been really cool to hate on HBO. I don't really get why, because it was not that bad of a show.
No, but I think it was like there's always been a love-hate kind of. You either love it or you hate it. Like most people I've talked to, they just either didn't get it, didn't like it. Whatever.
But it's all right. I mean, it's IBO.
But I'm hoping for a future series that's either going to be a prequel, and maybe will tell us how they got to the Calamity War. Was it the 76 Gundam frames?
Something like that. Yeah.
They needed to defeat. And obviously, you got towards the end of season 2. Spoiler: you saw the more powerful, and lasers actually come into it. Otherwise, it's mostly melee weapons and machine guns they're dealing with. So it's got an interesting history. It could go a lot of places. I've actually just started reading the manga for what's the one with the
it has like the Astaroth origin in it.
Yeah, the Astaroth. I'm reading the one with the guy with the Astaroth in it. Yeah. So
I can't remember the name of it.
I've just started reading that one. That's interesting.
So really fast, because we need to end at one point, because Mark
I need to end this. Yeah,
his wife's gonna be pissed, and I mean it's 6:30 a.m. for me.
It's 2 hours later. Yeah.
It was not supposed to be like 2 hours and 30 minutes. But I just want
narrative.
I just want to end the show really fast, because one person, very G in the chat, to remind me that we haven't talked about Gundam narrative. That just
the hard part is talking about it, because yes,
out.
in Japan, in cinemas in some countries, hey, you can see the whole thing. For the rest of us, I've seen the first 23 minutes.
I haven't seen the first 20 minutes. Not at all. I've seen nothing.
You haven't watched it at all yet?
No, I'm gonna watch during my vacation.
I haven't watched it at all either.
Oh man, you're in Japan. You can go see it in a cinema.
It's like nowhere near me. I have to like take a Shinkansen, which is like probably a couple $100.
Oh yeah, not worth it.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think it's over in Osaka, but it might be in Fukuoka, which would be like $75 trip. But yeah, it's not near me or Hiroshima.
Bugger. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, so you can see the first 23 minutes of Gundam Narrative, which is the newest foray into the UC time.
Gundam Info YouTube channel.
6, 8, 12 months, somewhere within the year following UC 0096 Gundam Unicorn. And the Federation has locked away the Gundam Unicorn, locked away the Banshee. They haven't said what they did with Benaja Lynx and Riddy Marson as the pilots, who are true new types. But they fear new types. The Banshee, the third of the Gundams, shows up, and they're trying to capture it. And that's what we've got so far.
Okay, cool.
That's all I can gain from 23 minutes.
I mean, you get this Ninja Stein in it. Just for that, I'm sold. I love the Stein.
But you also get the Dija, which is from Zeta.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's designs. There's definitely good designs in there.
Newest show, if you can watch it.
Narrative, it looks like a stripped down new Gundam, and there's an A and a B pack, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
And a C. There's a new C pack.
There you go. There's a C pack.
Yeah. So it's a stripped down new Gundam with packs available for it.
Yeah.
So looks cool.
Bandai like making money.
Yeah, well, yeah. We don't know a whole lot yet, so let's see how that goes. We might do a podcast in the near future and talk about that one then.
Not at that time, though.
No, not at this time ever again. This is just because we wanted to get one in for Christmas. So.
Yeah, because I did it for Dennis.
I appreciate it.
Because of this beautiful bastard.
Oh, man, 10:30.
That's getting weird. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let it happen.
Yeah, it's all right, man.
All right, guys, we're going to bring that to a wrap now. We've pretty much discussed every Gundam anime, so feel free to rewatch this.
After 2 hours and 35 minutes.
we said we were going to limit it to 4 minutes a series or something and keep it under an hour, but it didn't happen. So thank you, everyone, for watching, and all of Gunpla Network and Chris Summer's supporters. It was good to do a crossover. We might do this in the near future again, hopefully.
Thank you to
Absolutely.
Dennis for joining in. Check out his YouTube channel, The Krow-sama, one of the best reviewer out there. He's doing great. Like I said, he's doing great review, great unboxing. He's reviewing Gunpla, their model kits, Frame Art Girls, and Meisinger. He's in Japan, so that asshole got the kits before everyone else.
Yeah.
So
That's
if
true.
you want to see the kits before, he's the first one with the review. So if you want to see like the kits before anyone else, go to his YouTube channel. He's a great guy too. So I'm selling you, man. I'm selling you hard right now. So
I appreciate it, man.
So check
You're
out
overselling.
So go and
I'm
subscribe.
drunk and I'm freaking tired, so I'm doing my thing.
All right. I'm going to bring it to a close. So thanks everyone for joining us tonight. And thank you, Danik and Dennis, for joining us. And it was great to have a chat about all this because I don't often get to discuss anime with people.
We're not
I live in a
supposed to talk
very-
about anime, but it's all right. It's Christmas.
Well, not even Gunpla Network, but just like friends in general. No one's into it. So
That's because you don't have friend, Mark.
I have friends that are just geeks, not of this type.
Just kidding.
unfortunately.
Mark is a cool guy. Thank you, Mark, for hosting, and that's it.
Thank you. All right, guys.
Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Have fun. Get drunk. Don't do too many weird stuff.
And look out for our Christmas giveaway.
Yeah. Christmas giveaway right now on the YouTube channel. Check that out. We got great kids. See you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
See you later.
All right. Bye.